The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barbers Chat Network, our great partners at H&B Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those of you who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack. This like no Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at.
Before we start the show, we want to thank our sponsors, Pillars. Pillars is the best clothing line in the Chicagoland area. If you're looking for a dope hoodie, a sweatsuit, shirts, shoes, or even stuff for your kids, Pillars is where you should go. You can visit any of their 4 store locations in the Chicagoland area or visit pillarsclub.co and order online. Yo, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Scott. You know to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BarberChairScott. You can follow the Barbers Chair Network at BarbersChairNet on Twitter and Instagram. Follow this great media company that you're watching the show on, H&B Media TV at H&B Media TV on Twitter and at H&B Media on Instagram. And, of course, follow our sponsors, Pillars. You can visit pillarsclub.co. Get all your clothes, all your gear you need to get on the website, or you can go to their Instagram at pillars_club or visit any of their 3 now locations in the Chicagoland area. It is Friday, March 15th, 2024. While you are there, like, subscribe, leave a comment, even if you want to call us fucking idiots, whatever you want to do. We appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. It has been 10 days since we have done an episode of this show. We're working on something very dope at Barbers Chair Network and with I'm Not Gonna Hold You. Details that will come when it is closer to unveil. So that's what the delay was, but we've got a packed show for y'all. Shout out to everybody watching, man. We got a lot of people watching here today. A lot of y'all excited to see what we're gonna talk about. Big Bears news. Keenan Allen is a Bear. You know, Justin Fields, could he be heading to the Pittsburgh Steelers? Could he be staying back in Chicago? We don't know. Well, we do fucking know, but for my co-host's sake, I'm gonna act like we don't know. But we know what's gonna happen. We got that on deck. We got JR Bang here. Dante's here. The homie Mikey will be joining us in about 30 minutes. In about 10 minutes, we will be joined by author, our guy, Jack M Silverstein, author of the new book, Why Do We Root? He's going to talk about this 30 years of stories in Chicago sports. We're going to talk to him in about 15 minutes, man. We got him, and of course, Cousin Dan Fridays is back. We got Dan here. We got the homie Mike Willis from Pillars here. We're going to be talking about, all the wild things that go on in my cousin's brain today. And so a lot of big things. And of course, subscribe to the Patreon right now, patreon.com/Barbers Chat Network, so you can get in tune with the I'm Not Gonna Hold You local hour, where we're strictly Chicago sports. Today we're going to talk about, the full Bears free agency in review. How did that look? What are going to be the new expectations if and when Caleb Williams does get drafted in a couple weeks? Where do the Bears go from Justin? Are they going to release him? Are they going to keep him in the same, locker room as Caleb Williams? Could he be heading to Steel City? I don't know. Kenny Pickett got traded today. They have no backup quarterback. Could it be that? We'll be talking about that. What are the Bears going to do with the number 9th pick? What about the new stadium? And, of course, we got some White Sox news with Dylan Cease getting traded to the San Diego Padres. So me, Dante, Bang, and Mikey will be talking about that in the Patreon exclusive hour, man. So shout out to everybody. Let's start off with my sound off before I bring my esteemed co-host in here, man. My sound off today is about a crazy 24 hours in the Bears world, man. This time yesterday, I was upset. And I think most Bears fans were upset as we were watching all of the different wide receivers and defensive linemen go off the board in free agency, wondering what the fuck was going to happen. And, you know, we had a lot of people pose detractors, and rightfully so. I'm not saying that just because this deal went down, then we should take our foot off Poles' neck. No, you should expect more. You should have won more. Until last night, we got the breaking news that Keenan Allen, number one wide receiver, was traded to the Bears for a fourth-round pick, and now you've got a wide receiver room with DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. The whole fortunes of the Chicago Bears have changed in this 24 hours. I've had a lot of highs as a Bears fan. I've had a lot of highs as a media member of the Bears, obviously, but this was probably the most up and down I've been in a non-game situation to feel like just 24 hours ago, I felt like I was hopeless. Like, what are we going to do from here and things like that? Where's the team going to go? To now being excited about all the different possibilities, man. So basically, Ryan Poles told us to shut the fuck up and be patient. And that's pretty much what he did. He delivered last night. And it's crazy how one trade can make other moves look better. And that's exactly what happened. You know, the DeAndre Swift move looks better now that you got that. You know, you got Gerald Everett. That looks better. Kevin Byard, all these different moves that they done look so much better when you've got a guy with the caliber of Keenan Allen coming into your wide receiver room. But what does that mean? And that's what we're going to bring in my co-host here, man. We got the one and only JR Bang. You can follow JR Bang and @JR Bang on all social media platforms. We've got president of the Barbers Chat Network, our fellow Morehouse man, and co-producer of the show, Mr. Dante Miles. You can follow him at @OctoberZonte on Twitter. Courtney will be back with us on Monday. She can't be on today. And, of course, Mikey will be joining us in about 25 minutes. Gentlemen, how y'all doing?
I'm amazing. You feel me? You feel me? To quote the great Chicagoan Jesse Jackson, keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
Up with hope, down with dope.
It's not over. Up with hope, down with dope. Y'all niggas been talking crazy. We still got options out here. And like I said, I'm feeling great. All jokes aside, I think more than anything, as much as we say, Ryan Poles overplayed his hand, Ryan Poles did this, he did that. Ryan Poles is sitting right where he wants to be. Right where he wants to be.
Right where he wants to be.
No matter what you believe. And I'm going to tell y'all what I believe in a minute, but no matter what you believe, we right where we going to go.
We believe a lot of things. I believe one day Maya Jama will be carrying my children. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. Bang, how's it going, brother?
Man, I'm good, man. You know what I'm saying? Fifth day in the Ramadan.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to my homie Weeso, 5th day of Ramadan. I'm out here doing it with him. I'm not Muslim.
Okay,
I was about to say, I was like, are you out here doing it too?
Yeah, I'm doing like I did last year. Remember we had talked about it? Yep, same thing. You know what I'm saying? Supporting my coworker. I told him that I'll rock out with him. So I'm thirsty as hell. I'm hungry as hell, but I'm making it through.
We are going to talk about Keenan Allen in just a minute, but we're gonna start off with our guests, man. We're gonna start off with our guests. Shout out to everybody. We got a lot of people watching, man. We've been hyping this bitch up, so we appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? We will not disappoint. If anybody has seen, everybody said I turned heel, nigga. Well, Hunter Hearst Helmsley is here today, motherfucker. Like I'm going full Triple H in 1999. You know
Scott Levesque.
Scott Levesque. You said, "Well, Bang not eating swine no more."
Oh, I haven't ate swine in some time. That's regardless. Yeah.
Pavy will love to hear. Pavy is fake. I don't eat swine. He only do that because hoes. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So shout out my brother Pav, man, right now.
Jimmy Garoppolo staying in LA.
Where's he going?
He going to the Rams.
Going to the Rams.
Justin Fields of Pittsburgh is picking up steam. It's picking up steam. It's picking up steam.
Justin Fields with a loaded offense on the lakefront is picking up steam.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Black
and yellow.
Let's calm down.
Black and yellow.
So
Black
Marvin
and yellow.
Yes.
Give me a
Black and
tackle.
yellow.
Like, stop playing with me.
Yes.
Are you crazy? Are y'all crazy?
All
Let's
right,
really
man.
get real. But we got
Okay.
We can't do
Let's
that.
bring our guest in, man.
Not yet.
Let's bring our guest in, man. We've got the one and only, the homie, Jack M Silverstein, man, author, Chicago historian, one of the guys who I credit for putting a battery in my back with this media thing. I remember the time we were all at WGN Radio like 8 years ago. It was me, you, Bang, the homie Sean Davis, the homie Jared Payton, my man BC. My brother was there, and everybody just, after that day, I was like, man, I got to fully do this shit, man. So definitely glad to have my brother Jack in here, man. Jack, how you feeling?
I'm good, guys. That was a good day. That was just like that conversation just went,
Yeah.
and that was great.
It was
And
like right after the Cubs won the World Series.
yeah, that's right. It was in December, and I love that picture. You guys are all in.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah, you good.
All right.
Yeah, so yeah, man. But let's just get right into it, man. You got a new book out right here, man. By the way, shout out to you for giving me the first copy. One of the first copies.
There you
here,
go.
Man. We talked a lot before the book came out. You know what I'm saying? Definitely appreciate the shout out. It's the first time I've been shouted out in a book. So I definitely appreciate that, man. Let's just get right into it, bro. Like, what was the process? I know you've written a lot of things. You've had a lot of, Chicago sports, things. One thing I love is when there's something big that happens in Chicago sports, Jack's got a thread for you. Jack's got a thread for you with information. Tell us what was the process into why you wanted to make the book While We Root and how that process went.
In 2005, I started working on a book called The Year in the Life of a Chicago Sports Fan. And the idea was that all sports books, they cover a season, but I wanted to cover a calendar year to show how your teams kind of intersect and how when one team is doing well, that can pick up the slack emotionally for when one team is not doing well. And I picked 2005 just randomly, just because that was when I had the idea. And we came into that year. The Bulls they had started 0-9. They weren't quite a playoff team yet. The Illini were undefeated, but they weren't quite the story of the year. And all of a sudden you got the Bulls go back to the playoffs for the first time since Jordan and Pippen. The Illini go almost undefeated and obviously almost national champs. The Cubs had a down year, although Derek Lee fought for the Triple Crown. But the White Sox, obviously, they go wire to wire. They have one of the great seasons in Major League Baseball history. And then the Bears went back to the playoffs. It was a really cool season. I loved it. I wrote this diary type book, and nothing came of it. But my dear friend Ben Schwartz and I went out to Wrigley in the first week of January of 2009 to take that picture. And Ben did the Photoshop of the marquee. And I didn't do anything with that, but I said, save all the files because this picture sums up something important. And I want, and it's a wonderful cover, and I will figure out a book to go with it. So fast forward 2020, I announced the book 6 Rings on the 90s Bulls, which I'm still working on. Actually, I've got an interview in the can with Bill Cartwright that'll be coming either next week or the week after. And it's just been going so slowly that I was looking at my list of projects. I'd always wanted to release a collection of sports writing. And so I had this cover, and I said, let me go through my archives and pull just the fan voice pieces, not the historian voice, not that stuff. And there's 2 player interviews in here. But there are things that tie directly to my fan experience. So it's very much just my fan voice, which is why it's called Mad Obsessions of a Chicago Sports Fan. Why We Root was the name of my column the night that the Hawks won their first cup in 49 years, with the Kaner shot in OT. So I looked at this, I looked at my archives and I looked at all my work over 20 years, 2003, really one piece from 99, but 2003 to 2023 at so many different outlets, Windy City Gridiron, obviously, Red Eye, although I couldn't credit them because we couldn't come to an agreement, and sites that are gone, something called the Sports Blog Network where I got to write, something called 16 Wins a Ring where I got to write. I don't know, just a ton of places. Bulls Confidential, which is obviously up and running and in good esteem. But yeah, it was really cool to see my whole career laid out that way and to dive back into those obsessions that we all have.
Definitely. Go ahead, Dante. My fault.
Yeah, definitely, bro. And I know you say it's a collection of stories, and obviously, you know, with a collection of stories that span that long, it might be difficult to pinpoint one that you could say is your favorite. But out of all of them, is there one that you have a very special connection that you felt like, yo, this was the one that has to be in the book?
So there's a really unusual answer to that question, which is that I think my favorite piece. Gosh, it's hard to say this is my favorite. This might upset people, but the day after LeBron signed with the Heat, I imagined what my reaction would have been in 1990 at 9 years old or at 8 years old if Michael Jordan, and I know this wasn't really possible at the time, but if Michael Jordan had left the Bulls to sign with the Pistons before we had won a championship. And I wrote a piece that's just a narrative of a fictional Cleveland boy and him going through his hero leaving. And I did that to kind of write about Michael and write about fandom from a different perspective in a way that I couldn't in any other way. Now, I'd written about the Bulls and the Pistons, and there's a piece in here. There's two pieces in here, actually, about the Bulls-Pistons rivalry. But that was a really special one to me. So that's one. One that I love that's in here was I wrote a piece about, I don't know if you guys remember. Do you guys remember Taiji Armstrong? He was a backup tight end for the Bucks in the early 90s.
Yeah.
Taiji Armstrong's mother tragically suffered a fatal heart attack at Soldier Field at a Bears-Bucks game in 1992. And after that, he would buy her seat and like 8 seats next to it where his family came and put a wreath on it. And the broadcast for all those Bears-Bucks games for like 3 straight years would show the wreath and tell her story. And I'd always remembered that. And I wrote that piece for Windy City Gridiron. And that was really special to me. I wrote a piece in the summer of 2012 about how I was crumbling as a Cubs fan. I called it "They Shoot Baseball Teams, Don't They?" And I was really in a lot of trouble emotionally with the Cubs, and I had really had I had sort of a breakdown after Soriano struck out to end the 08 LDS against LA when we got swept. And
the Manning series.
Yeah, and I could not deal with baseball after that, and I was really at a breaking point. And while that was happening, a dear friend of mine from Cincinnati, who's a Reds fan, decided he was going to be a Cubs fan. And the story is about me trying to talk him out of it, not being able to, and then him being crushed. And I loved that piece as well. So there's a lot, and I think just a lot of my work over the years, it goes onto my site, reject.com, reject.wordpress.com. It goes into all these sites. And as any writer can relate to, the longer you're writing, the higher the likelihood now that your stuff is going to get taken offline because a place folds, they change their URL, whatever happens. And I loved being able to bring all this back together and lay it down.
Hey, yo, Jack. So, first of all, don't press in.
Don't press send.
This is a don't press in reunion,
Bottom line,
ladies and gentlemen. For those who don't know, me, Jack, BC, Sean Davis were working on a podcast called Don't Press Send all the way in like 2012, 2013. So we've definitely been ahead, streamed it, and all of that. And we need a Don't Press Send reunion. Just
I agree.
Want to throw that out
and
there.
Shout out to Chuck Swirsky, who came out to shoot with us.
Oh, I was there that day.
Yeah, yes, you was.
Me and Pappy were there.
Yeah, Don't Press Send reunion. Now, of course, we're talking about the book, and the book revolves around just being a Chicago fan. So, as a fan of all Chicago sports, what is your opinion on the state of Chicago sports right now?
It's bad. It's ugly. And I was talking with Mario Smith. I was on his show last week, and he's sitting there wearing an Orioles hat. And I said to him, I was like, golly, like, you're sitting here in an Orioles hat. Scott and Lawrence are taking auditions for other
Man,
fans.
ain't no auditions. I'm fully in Chavez Ravine right now. Los Doyers. Let's go, Mookie.
Yeah, it's
Let's
so,
go, Dodgers. That's what we at over here.
so it's frustrating, and it doesn't seem like that long ago that a lot of things were looking up. You know, no one expected that the Cubs would not win again. No one expected that the White Sox would peak so early. I think that obviously we got the most out of that Hawks run. You know, maybe you could get a fourth somewhere, but 3 cups is I'm not complaining. But then the way that kind of cratered, and for a lot of reasons. And then obviously the Bears, and the Bears obviously being the one team that binds the city. I always say that Chicago sports fandom is the Bears plus one baseball team plus one United Center team. And I think obviously interest in the Sky has come up because we love a winner, and we love a hometown winner. Candace coming home, you know, that gave us a lot. And there are soccer fans certainly, and shout out to the Fire and the Red Stars. But really it comes down to that kind of an identity, and it really comes down to the Bears. And when the Bears are losing and can't maintain anything, you know, we haven't been to the playoffs in consecutive seasons since 05-06.
Yeah. And
and before that we hadn't been to the playoffs in consecutive seasons since 90-91. And it really, you know, the way that you're going to win a Super Bowl is by being consistent. And so when there's no consistency, and that's part of why I wanted to either fire Eberflus and restart, or fire, or have Kevin Warren step in and fire everyone below him, or if you were going to keep Eberflus, keep Justin Fields. Because my view from a high level is that we have sustainability issues, and it's not healthy as a franchise, and it's not healthy as a fan base to be resetting around a franchise quarterback every 3 years. The biggest position, the most important position in sports, the one that dominates the psyche of fans. It's not healthy to be going, you know, on repeat in that cycle, and you buy the new jersey, and then by the second year the guy's on his way out and all that. It's not healthy. So I'm really struggling, as I'm sure most Chicago sports fans are right now. And it's not about Caleb, Justin. It's about, when are we going to have some consistency? When are we going to be sustaining victories? You know, I was thinking about how the last time we swept the Packers was 2007.
Yeah. And
every win against the Packers since then has some like special name.
This is also true.
Like, they just beat us. They just beat us and beat us and beat us. They don't have some special celebration when they think about, like, oh, you remember that one lucky day in 2013 when Rodgers got hurt and Seneca Wallace came? Like, they don't have all that bullshit. They just are like, yeah, we beat the Bears. So it's this continued problem with the Bears that then filters down to our emotions with all these other teams, where we're already splintered because no one's equally Cubs Sox, no one's equally Bulls Hawks, etc.
Well, I want to ask this one question for you, since we're on the topic of this, the Justin Caleb thing. Now, you just said you want Justin to come back. So, as somebody who's been around in this media game, what do you? Of course, we know we want what you know. What you want to happen? What do you think is going to happen?
Hold on. I want championships.
Okay, so which one do you think is closer to? Like, which we think is the quicker path?
Keep it real, Jack. Let them know it's okay, bro. It's okay. Come on,
and remove. Now, fuck what he talk about. Remove your heart from the situation. Remove your heart from the situation. Which
probably Williams. He's a better prospect, and you know it never hurts to go younger and cheaper. But my issue is with the repeating problem of going with, and I know people can say, well, Eberflus, he's coming in for 2 years now. Yeah, let's pump the brakes on that. I'll believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. We're looking at the fourth time now where we were Duran and Rex in 2003.
Ah,
and then,
yeah.
And then Fox and Mitch in 2017, and then Nagy and Fields in 2021, and now Eberflus and Williams, let's say, in 2024. That's no way of doing business. I mean, this should have all ended after 2020. They should have fired Pace, fired Nagy, told Ted, take a seat on the side, finish your stadium business, hire a new president, get everything going from top to bottom, because now we're in this same repetitive problem where the guy who's responsible for the guy is no longer here. And you can fill in either name, any name you want in that, because the guy who drafted Justin Fields is not here, and the guy who hired Ryan Poles is not here. Like, the president didn't pick the GM, and the GM didn't pick the quarterback. It's like that's got to end at some point, and it goes back all the way to the old man dying and the family having not really done anything to create that sustainability. George Halas had real estate interests. He was starting other sports teams and other leagues. He was able to look and say, all right, I'm going to take this as the foundation of my business and grow it in all these other areas. And the McCaskies, I always look at that famous quote, or maybe it's not a famous quote, maybe I've made it famous, but I always look at that great quote from Virginia in 1998 that she said floated around her family. She said, we are either the rich McCaskies or we are the McCaskies who own the Bears. We are not the rich McCaskies who own the Bears. Well, why the hell not? You've had 40 years. You can't figure out a way. Look at what Jerry Jones is doing. Jerry Jones goes out of his way to help other owners diversify their revenue streams. And you've been here 40 years and you can't figure out a way to turn a 5.6 whatever billion dollar business into multiple revenue streams so that you don't have to always backpedal and you don't always have to make these decisions in the wrong direction. You can't figure that out. I mean, I've been saying, and I'll say it here again, I think the number one underreported story in Chicago sports right now is the mechanics of what happens when Virginia McCaskey passes away. Because God bless, she turned 101 in January, and she looked very healthy at the Ed Block Courage Award ceremony, whenever that was last week, and that's beautiful. But at some point, she is going to pass away. And without knowing what the succession plan is, because the team hasn't talked about that publicly since 2013. What's succession? Right. Not serious people. Without knowing the succession plan, because the last time they talked about this and the last time that their stock has been reported was 2013 in a great piece by the Tribune. Without knowing their succession plan, at the instant when Virginia McCaskey dies, Pat Ryan becomes the dominant shareholder of the Bears at 19.7%. And if it's a race to buy out the siblings, some of whom must want to get out.
Bro, it's like 80 McCaskies. When every year we get like the season like preview book, whatever we get at training camp, it's like 80 of them. It's like 80 McCaskies in that damn book, bro.
There were.
Can I paint a picture for you?
Yeah, definitely. Well, but I just want to finish. Sure. If I were on the beat full time, and I would encourage it, I've talked to friends who are on the beat, and I know everybody's got a lot of responsibilities. The NFL is a year-round calendar now. If I were on the beat full time, I would be laying out what happens when Virginia McCaskey dies. Literally, where does her stock go? Does it split 3.8% a piece down 11 lines? I don't know what happens with the two children who have passed away. Michael McCaskey, and I think I don't want to say the other name because I don't remember, but there's two who have passed away, but it's 3.8%. The reason that Virginia McCaskey has control of the Bears is that the children give her voting rights of all their shares, and that's what pushes her above the 30%. Now, the NFL has done things to change the minimum ownership requirements for legacy owners, so just for this problem. But we saw with the Denver Broncos, they don't have as many offshoots. They don't have Pat Bowlen doesn't have as many children as Virginia McCaskey does, and they, as a family, couldn't figure it out. So if it's a race to buy out the siblings, then an actual billionaire in Pat Ryan is going to win that race. And then what happens? I would love for someone to pick up that thread and figure out the specifics of what happens when Virginia McCaskey passes away. If it's tomorrow, if it's in 5 years, it's coming. She's 101.
There's SEO value in that. There's SEO value.
That's a good point in that they will throw my black ass out like Jazz and Fresh Prince if I try to find that out. But I'm gonna paint a picture for you. We're gonna close it up with this. Get you out of here with this. You paint pictures with your words. I'm gonna paint a picture for you. As I know, as Bang said on the Patreon show, we did a Patreon show on Wednesday. Me, Bang, and homie Herb Howard. Chicago sports fans are naturally, what'd you say, pessimistic, Bang? Was that the word you used? Skeptical. Skeptical. I'm gonna paint a world for you. The Bears just won a division. It's loud in Soldier Field. Motherfucking Caleb Williams just threw for his third touchdown. They won 11 games. We're getting ready for the playoffs, and things are looking well. DJ Moore is dominating. Keenan Allen is dominating. Defense is playing well. And not only do you have your franchise quarterback, a great machine over him, you got money to spend going forward and more draft capital. That, to me, is a world I want to paint for Bears fans.
Yeah.
How does that sound to you?
That sounds great. Again, I'm not pro Justin because I'm like Justin a bit. Like, I like Justin, and I don't think he's gotten a fair shake, but I want championships. I mean, we like to talk about the franchise history. How about some present? How about some future?
This is the best way to get
Talk
that.
to him, Jack.
Okay,
That's the best way to get that.
we have nine.
Consistency.
We have 9 championships. Okay, 7 of them came before the team was integrated.
And
I'm just saying, like, it's that long ago.
And you want to keep the quarterback who hasn't even got us 9 wins. If we're gonna be fair,
What I'm saying is that I would rather build something consistent and take a shot with Justin. It's kind of like my wife has a rule that you don't speed when you're late. You stop being late. You know, like, we don't go back to the house to go get something. It's like, no, you screwed up. We go and we deal with the fallout afterward. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying eventually these patterns of behavior have to stop. And I would rather they stop now and see what we can get for the one and see what a new offensive coordinator can do with Justin, who is as responsible for anything good that people like to chalk up to Matt Eberflus. They're like, well, he didn't lose the team after a 14-game losing streak. Well, why the fuck had we lost 14 games in a row?
By the way, I'm not pushing the Eberflus train, by the way.
Right. And so we should have fired him, but we didn't. So I would say keep Justin and build from there. But fine, I'm a reasonable man. Caleb Williams might be too great. And fine, if you draft him, then fine. Now your new journey starts. But, like, start doing things in a way that makes sense. That's what I'm saying. I would like to do things in a way that makes sense.
I think these last couple have made sense. I got a rule too. There's a difference between a Chrysler 300 and a Phantom. When the motherfuckers pull up, that's my rule, and that's Cat Williams' rule. And I see a Chrysler 300, and I see a goddamn Phantom.
I'm gonna know it's the Phantom.
You don't know I know it's the Phantom. Well, I know. I tell you what I do know. I do know. The car we got now ain't got no fucking miles on that.
And Jack, I told you, Jack, I said this before everybody got on. So I'm gonna say it now because he's playing.
And it go about 5-10 miles.
Look at the heel turn. Look at the energy, the way they switched. If you remember, Jack, time out. If you remember when it first started, everybody was like, you know what? No matter what decision we make, we good. If we stay with Justin, we all right. We can win. If we leave, we got Caleb. Now all of a sudden, we need Caleb because Justin ain't shit. That's crazy to me.
Hey, look, I ain't say Justin.
You literally just said the man was a poop putt that won't start up. Hey, and you still fan.
We gotta keep a bucket. We're gonna get into this in a minute, man.
Hey, Scott, Zach, I just want to ask you, when you grabbed the book, because you had seen the cover, because I'd been sending to you as a book, holding it. What stood out to you? What do you like about it? I mean, because I'm enmeshed, like I'm way in the deep end.
First of all, I love any books that got. It sounds very remedial, but books that have like pictures inside of different shit. I know it sounds remedial. I know it do. I know it really do. Sometimes I have the attention span of a 5-year-old when it comes to me.
This Mark say, yo, I like the pictures.
I selected those pictures.
I like how you have it broken down into like different eras and different segments. Like the one that really stood out to me was the LeBron James story about when he hit that game winner on the Bulls, which was essentially the end of that fucking Bulls era as we know. Like that game was the last time I felt actual pain as a Chicago sports fan, because contrary to popular belief, I felt nothing after the double doink. It was shock more than anything. Yeah. I was so angry when motherfucking LeBron James hit that shot that I couldn't even react. I stayed in my room and I watched KTLA News because I couldn't turn the fucking channel. Yeah. So like to have that and like compare it to what other teams felt about when Michael Jordan would do that to them. That to me is something, that has stood out in like the early, phase I have been, going through it, man. But definitely gonna go fully through it and definitely give you my thoughts on that. But I'm glad it came out because we've been talking about this for months, going over.
For months, I'm so appreciative of like I was able, for people who don't know, I was able to send Scott like table of contents or picture, the cover or things like that, or just go over like the high level marketing and the storytelling. Hey, what, am I leaving anything out, etc. So I really appreciated that, bro. I appreciate you a lot.
No problem, bro. I'm definitely humbled that you wanted me involved in that process, bro. Let them know where they can follow you and everything you got going on, and where they can get the book at.
Definitely. So I don't know how Amazon works, but I was number 34. I was the 34th bestseller yesterday for sports essays. I'll take it. So yeah, you can go to readjack.com. If you are in Chicago and you want an autographed copy, you can hit me up and we can make that happen. Otherwise, it's on Amazon, it's on Barnes & Noble, and we'll be having some events. Nothing planned, nothing announced yet, but we'll definitely be doing that. But yeah, go to readjack.com and you can get all the info there. Cop the book, Why We Root, Mad Obsessions of a Chicago Sports Fan. And Bang, you're in there too.
Hey, let me go ahead and cop me one right now.
Shout out to Bang. Definitely, Jack, always great to talk to you, bro. Definitely got to have you on again.
Absolutely, guys. I appreciate all three of you, and thank you so much for having me. And yeah, gosh, let's get this goddamn thing organized and sorted, and let's get some championship. I feel so bad as a father now, making my kids like sit down and watch these teams, and they're like, Dad, are you
going through this shit like I went through this shit?
Are you gonna start yelling again? I was like, yeah, but it's not you. It's just,
There's gonna be a day where they're gonna be happy you did that. I'm like, Dad, I remember when we drafted our franchise quarterback and he led us to multiple Super Bowl championships. So they're gonna remember this.
Please.
They're gonna remember this.
Ryan Leaf. Now, when he Ryan Leaf, I don't want his shit.
Okay, it's not gonna be Ryan Leaf. We'll hope Justin actually beats Mr. Unlimited, but that's a whole different conversation for another day. But
man.
So first of all, yeah, thank you, Jack, for joining us, bro. We'll holler at you.
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
J.R. Reed and I hope y'all get Caleb and get hurt in first play Rodgers. First of all, what the fuck that like, I don't know if you're a Packers fan or anything.
That's the homie, man.
Block him.
That's the homie. Don't block the homie, man. Don't block the homie. That's the homie. That's the homie.
Bang. Hold on, wait. Bang. Is that another employee he got to fire?
That's not employee. That's not employee, though. It's not employee.
I don't even want Caleb, and that's crazy. We ain't got to do all that.
We got the homie Mikey here, man. Mikey, what is going on, brother?
What's the word, man? I missed y'all, dog. We back.
I'm glad we got everybody on here, man. It's been a minute.
I'm ready to get back onto some bullshit.
Well, it's the day.
It's the day.
Yeah,
it's the day, brother. This we gonna do, man. So I need to call the lane right now. I'm calling ISO. I'm calling
ISO.
All right, man.
Scotty.
I want to have a come to Jesus moment with shout out to Jack. We're not gonna block you, bro. We was talking shit. We're not gonna block you. We appreciate you. I'm not gonna lie. I laughed when Rodgers got hurt. I ain't shit either, nigga. Like I should have laughed more if I'd known how more people.
No, I did.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Shout out to everybody in the room. Shout out to all of y'all watching on all the streams. Got a lot of people watching, but time to have a come to Jesus with Bears fans, Bears Twitter. I'm gonna say Bears Twitter. I'm not gonna say Bears fans because I am not going to. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm not going to say that all Bears fans are like the things that we see on Bears Twitter. I think Bears Twitter is a very small, select representation of what Chicago Bears fans are. And I feel like I have to say this because I'm going to get my Stephen A on. I love Justin Fields, man. I am a big Justin Fields fan. And
only black quarterback you like.
Okay, let's cut the shit. All right, I love Patrick Mahomes, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like. There's not any black quarterbacks. Like, whatever. Anyway, we're not gonna go through this for the millionth fucking time. But anyway, I want him to go to Pittsburgh because as far as, first of all, there's not a lot of places left. Let's be real about that. The Rams just signed Jimmy Garoppolo, so that's one off it. This is the only place when you hear Ryan Poles talk about doing right by Justin Fields, he has a legit shot to start there. Now, he doesn't have to by Justin Fields either. As a businessman, as general manager, the only thing he has to do right by is the Chicago Bears. Now, this is what I want to say. And we kind of went into this a little bit on Wednesday on I'm Not Going to Hold You Halftime. But look, man, it's time to have a come to Jesus moment. There's a difference between what you want and what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bears fans right now are living in the technical aspect, which I feel you. Whatever you want to hold on to, well, yeah, technically, Ryan Poles has not come up and said, we are going to trade Justin Fields. We are going to draft Caleb Williams. He has not said those words. He will not say those words until either Justin gets traded or Caleb Williams is actually called by Roger Goodell on April 25th in Detroit. That's not going to happen. Number two, Bears Twitter out there, and I'm not going to say no names, but there's a couple of you motherfuckers out there who want to disrespect the media because we're not telling you shit that you want to hear. You want to hear us say that there's a 50-50 shot of this happening. It's not. It's not. Is it 100% that Caleb Williams is going to be here? No, it's not 100%. It's about 95. It's about 95. Now, we're going to get into technicals. Bears media, they're not talking to anybody. I've seen some Bears media shooting at some of the homies over at CHGO, shooting at Bragg, shooting at Adam Hold, shooting at different people. People saying Adam Johns don't know anything. People always love shitting on Dan Reeder and Brad Biggs and, people saying, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I said I wasn't going to do this today. Bang, I told you I wasn't going to do it, but I'm going to do it. We got to, after a while, niggas got to start being real with themselves. When I go up to Hallis Hall, security tells me, Mr. Lewis, you can park over here. If you go up to Hallis Hall right now, they call the goddamn Lakefront Police, Lake Forest Police. So let's have some fucking respect. Am I sitting up here saying that people are telling me this? No, nobody has hit my line or text me and tell me for sure the Bears are taking Caleb Williams and they're trading Justin Fields. That has not been told to me 100%. But there's also key words. There's things you hear from trusted sources. And one thing you also got to know, just because people hear something doesn't mean just because, y'all wasn't up on the Keenan Allen thing. Y'all wasn't up on Kevin Byard being, Happy said, shit on Cap. Hey, man, we talked shit about Cap 2 weeks ago. We said Cap was out of line on this show 3 weeks ago when he said that Justin was a coward. And we said that was uncalled for. We said that last week. We had Jonathan Hood up here a couple weeks ago. We talked about that in general. So I'm not excluding anybody from the situation. I'm just saying we need to live in a little world called reality. Now, when you have things going on, you say Ian Rappaport said, they're not shopping him. First, be very clear. Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter are getting things from what Ryan Poles want them to know. The previous weeks leading up that, they also said the Bears are going to trade Justin Fields. That was all at the talk of the combine. That was all the talk from all these different media sources. So when they said that, it was, we don't trust what they know. But then when he says this, now all of a sudden you believe them. Is it Uchiwali or is it one Mike? I just want to know which one are we believing. Is the evaluation completed of Caleb Williams? No, it's not 100% complete. They still have to do things like have the pro day, which is on Wednesday, and also host him at Hallis Hall for his top 30 visit, which is probably going to happen a couple days after. So, yeah, it's not 100%, but it's like on the fucking 5-yard line. Which I use this comparison on Wednesday, and I'm going to use it again. Bears fans, not all of them, some Bears fans are like the woman who's getting cheated on. And she's got all the signs that she's getting cheated on. Nigga not responding to a text. He's being short. All of a sudden, he got work to do. And you have all the signs, but because you don't see the nigga actually fucking her in front of you, you want to act like that shit's not going on. It's going to happen. And I'm going to play devil's advocate for a little bit too, because I know Dante is going to do that in a minute as well. Let's just say the medicals don't look well. Let's just say, that they don't like what they heard and they're going to have with him in like Chicago cut or some shit. Okay, cool. They're still going to draft a quarterback. Do you want to live in a world where Drake May is your quarterback? Do you want to live in a world where Jaden Daniels is your quarterback? I wouldn't mind that one. Okay. You don't want that. He said, shout out everybody in the chat. As long as I got the 5% hope. Hey man, I'm with you, bro. As long as there's a shot, I'm with you. I don't even have a problem with you hoping it happens. I have a problem with people out there trying to discredit people who are actually in the know about what shit is going down and using the technicality bullshit because you feel like you know things and going on the media don't know this, media don't know that. Okay, media don't know everything, but guess what? They know more than you. That's more than who they know of. So stay in your place, be a fan, and shut the fuck up. That's my point.
Oh,
with Justin Fields. I wish Justin Fields the best. But at the end of the day, you got to wake up and smell the fucking roses, man. That's all I'm saying. So I'm going to open up the floor to the rest of my cohorts here, and then we'll actually get into the Keenan Allen trade.
The thoughts and views expressed by the light-skinned nigga in the top corner of this box does not reflect what everybody feels here. Y'all ain't got to shut the fuck up. That's reality. Tell them what it is, bro.
That's hey man, we need y'all to talk.
Keep
we
talking.
Need y'all to talk.
I need y'all to realize. I need y'all to realize, like I said before we got on here, it's crazy how we went from saying
you can't wear a Colorado hoodie, Coach Prime when Coach Prime with Jesus don't do that. God know my heart.
But no, it's amazing how we've gone from saying we good either way to saying no, there is no way we can keep Justin Fields. You just added Keenan Allen. Now you're telling me we have arguably one of the best, if not the best, 1-2 wide receiver punch in the league. You added DeAndre Swift. Now you have a speed back. You can still add to your offensive line. You have the potential to get more draft picks and set yourself up to load up for years to come. So worst case scenario, if Justin isn't what you want him to be, you can go get a vet or you can go do something else. But you'll still have a team that's loaded with talent. And I know people want to sit here and say, we don't want to be the 49ers. Listen to me. Look at me, just like the Chicago Bears are not the 49ers. The Chicago Bears wish they were the 49ers. So if you're going to sit here and tell me that you would turn down multiple Super Bowl appearances, multiple playoff trips, going 10-6 every year, and you just got to find a quarterback, but your team is loaded, as opposed to just starting over again, like we said, never having continuity, never having a fucking plan that makes sense, then that's what you want to do. But all we're going to say is this. Justin Fields, with everything he saw, everything he did, for everybody who wants to say you've had 3 years, that's bullshit. Year one, he didn't start the season. He was with a lame duck coach. Year two, you stripped down the roster to the fucking screws, and he had me, you, fucking JR, and Mikey at wide receiver. And he still showed you the flashes. So this year was the first real year you gave him something. DJ Moore had a career year. Cole Kmet had a career year. So you want to sit here and tell me he can't do it when every time you've given him pieces, which was 1 year, not 3 years, he got shit done. We won 7 games, could have won 10 games. So this is what I'm talking about, bro. Y'all want to sit here and just dismiss the man and say, nah, it's Caleb or nothing. If Ryan Poles says fucking and trades that pick, we are A-okay, because guess what? Then you bring in Marvin Harrison, and now your offense is fucking crazy. Then you can go 9, trade back, get more picks, and go dumb. And again, for years. You ain't even got to pick Marvin Harrison at 1. You trade down, let somebody else get their quarterback, get who they want. Obviously, it'll probably be Washington. Send them home, send them some shit like that. Now you get they want, you get they pick, you get they 1 next year, you get another pick, 2 or 3 this year. Brother, we can be a very dominant team very fast. But y'all want to go with this, let's reset the QB clock shit. I'm not trying to hear none of that. I'm not trying to hear none of that. I saw what the boy can do. You saw when he did up like this?
Yeah,
bro, I swear to God, bro, I'm telling you, brother. Stop with the open. Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
Let go of that motherfucker a couple minutes,
bro. But for weeks, you sat here and said that he was the most overanalyzed quarterback in the league. So
he is for sure.
Come on now. Come on now.
But when we also
and those 4 or 5 overthrows, if I bring 2 freaks to the offense, Keenan Allen, what, the 8-time Pro Bowler? Bring Keenan Allen, then we go get Marvin Harrison, or you don't get Harrison, trade back.
And then guess what?
You're loaded.
If he's still doing the same shit, then what?
But he's not.
You don't know that.
But
you don't know that.
No. You make that move based on your belief that Justin Fields can do this shit.
It's off of belief.
It's off the belief. You're not doing it and saying, I think he's going to do it. If I come,
Mikey,
I'm Ryan
you
Poles,
good
I
over
say,
there, Mikey?
And you know, everybody keep bringing.
I feel.
Hold on, everybody keep bringing the whole. We gonna do right by Justin. You know how you do right by Justin? Load this bitch up. That's how you do right by Justin. You know how you do right by Justin.
You move him. You move him. You do right by you do right by moving. Listen, you do right by moving Justin because you don't fucking want him. If I don't want to be with my girl, you know how I'm gonna do right by her? I'm gonna cut her off. Yes. I'm not gonna drag her and keep her being with me. You know what I'm saying? Like this is my issue with all of the Justin Fields dialogue is that people don't take context into it, like Dante said, and people don't put shit into perspective. Yes, Justin Fields was wronged. This regime had no intention in building around him. From the very moment they came in, how did they uplift their quarterback? They shed over $90 million in dead cap money and tearing down the entire defense. And they went and signed Byron Pringle, EQ St. Brown, Dante Pettis, Amir Smith-Marset, and they drafted Velus Jones. And they said, Justin, go do something. They had no intention of building him up. Ryan Poles wanted to get his guy from the jump. And to be honest, he got very lucky. I always say it. He has been more lucky than good in getting to this point. But listen, they don't want Justin. And can you blame Justin if he doesn't want to be here right now? I know he's saying all the right shit. But who the fuck wants to be somewhere where the GM is openly saying, yeah, we want to do right by him, but we know we have this opportunity. We know at the end of the season presser, we think we could win with Justin Fields and he made some improvement, but we know that there's an opportunity here that a lot of people don't get. They're making it like it's right there. It's like, yeah, I love my girl, but you know what? Kim K's trying to fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you want me to do? I can't pass the pussy up. I can't pass on having what everybody is saying is a generational quarterback, and all four of us.
I gotta say this, Jay Sanders, stop listening to fake media propaganda. Keenan Allen did not say that. Let's stop that right now.
That is the worst shit that happened. That's the worst shit that happened to Twitter, X, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, because of all these fake, unchecked sources. But at the end of the day, just do right by him and move on, because you don't want him, bro. They want their own guy. And Dante, you are right. They could build a nasty squad around Justin Fields, 100%. But they building a nasty squad around Caleb Williams. And it is what it is. And that is a quarterback that we all four of us have said on this show dating back months. None of us think he's quote unquote generational. You can't have a generational guy every single year. That's just a yearly quarterback. That's not a generational quarterback. So when you have the opportunity to upgrade, if you just look at what Caleb does from the quarterback position compared to Justin, he's got a quicker release. He can go ahead and make the intermediate throws. That's really what's holding Justin back. And you get to clear up that money, you know what I'm saying? Because in a couple years, next year, you got to pay DJ, you got to pay other people. Listen, and we all know how these football GMs and analysts get, or these football GMs and head coaches are. They want their guy. And it's just sad to admit that Justin is not Ryan Poe's guy.
Yeah, all great points, by the way. All great points, by the way. And
Carucci ain't got hold on. Carucci ain't got enough ass for me. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Cash dog. No,
but she pregnant.
First of all, Carucci out his 7 feet.
What that mean? What that mean? What that mean, Bang? What that mean, Bang?
Arkisha, I know it don't mean anything. You know,
wrong show, Mikey.
Summer sessions. All right, look, man. I've talked around this, but never really gave like a true, authentic take on what I would do. I've been political on this whole thing. We talked about it on the halftime show, where I told y'all I'm tired of people talking like the Bears was 3-14 and they earned the number one pick. I think that's my biggest issue, and that's why I don't talk to a lot of people about this, because they really think like, yo, the Bears was huff. They was 3-14. All that stuff. So let's go there. The Bears were 7-10 and 1:30 combined for being 10-7 in the playoffs. So that right there aids my thinking on what I would do if I was the Chicago Bears. And look, the way I look at this justice situation is I'll think about it as a relationship as well. Justin and the Chicago Bears was the relationship where the mate that you had wasn't shit. But then y'all break up, and this smart go to somebody else, and all of a sudden this person is a saint. That's what the Chicago Bears is doing with Caleb Williams. They know for a fact what they did with Justin Fields was wrong. They could have did this years ago, last year, really. if they wanted to go all in, like it seems like they're doing right now, with getting Keenan Allen and getting him another piece, along with Cole Kmet, and then going to get Swift, who's not only a decent running back, he's a good receiving running back as well. Herbert is a compliment to him. They could have did all of this last year. They sat on that bread, got the trade, and all of a sudden, they just wanted to try it again. And Scott, what have you always said? It's not a such thing as a rebuild. It's a retool.
Yeah.
And I say all of that to say, at this point, I've given up. Bring on Caleb. Just go ahead. Just bring him. Here's the thing. And here's why. If I feel like Caleb is just as good as Justin, which I think he is, I think Caleb is not only just as good, he might be slightly ahead because he could get the ball off a bit faster. If I believe that to be so, there's no reason for me to bring Justin Fields back, especially if I dogged that person the whole entire time they was there. I'm going to do all of this shit and then bring him back? I'm with Mikey. I think it's best for Justin to leave the Chicago Bears because the Chicago Bears did that man wrong the whole entire time he was here. So I'm going to bring him back like a hit dog all of a sudden because I got Keenan Allen? Nah, I truly believe that for Justin, it's best for him to go somewhere else. I actually hope Justin goes to a winning organization where he could just sit a little bit, learn a little bit, and then either get traded to somebody else or just take over for that team. I don't think Justin needs to be here. Now, Caleb, if the Bears have seemed like they have learned from their mistakes, and now with DJ Moore, they got Keenan Allen. With Keenan Allen, you also got Cole Kmet. You got DeAndre Swift in the background. You know what I'm saying? You got all of that. You can still upgrade on the offensive line through the draft if you like to, because it's probably going to be 4 quarterbacks and 3 wide receivers going out on the first 9 picks. So go get that tackle if you think he's going to be good enough to block for this man better than Braxton Jones. No matter what, this is not I feel like Justin should be with the Bears thing. No, it's none of that. All this is y'all basically shitted on that man and hurt that man's career. And all of a sudden, I'm going to bring him back? Nah. Also, the money part too. The money part, you can't discount that because now you can load up even more if, again, you believe that Caleb is just as good as Justin. I'm not saying that Caleb is a generational quarterback. I'm not. But I do believe that Caleb Williams is going to be a good quarterback in this league, just as well as I think Justin is going to be a good quarterback in this league. But if I'm going to say y'all can't look at the Bears and act like they was 3-14, they was 7-10, I can also look and say that coming in, that Caleb Williams is going to come into a different situation, the best situation in the last 5 years for a number 1 pick. I can't miss out on that. But also, along with that is Justin needs to be in the place where he's going to get taken care of. Man. He ain't been taken care of here. So let's go.
Can I say this? I just want to say this. When you just named out all the different reasons about them, him doing differently and not setting them up. You know what this sounds like? It's like when a nigga leave a woman and he had like an actual family with her. Well, I did those things too. I did that. Well, sometimes the game was a game. You wasn't the one. It's just that simple. And this has nothing to go ahead.
I know we don't want to spend our show on this, but we got to dive deeper into this because we say the whole doing wrong by him for 3 years, but we just acknowledge that year 1, Ryan Poles wasn't there.
Oh, I acknowledge.
Year 2, but no, I'm just saying.
I said the Bears, not just Poles and Pace.
But this is why I have to say Ryan Poles because again, I trust in Ryan Poles' vision, and I've said that for now 2 years straight. So 3 years aside with Justin Fields, Ryan Poles has had 2 years with him, And Ryan Poles is like the nigga who's the stepfather who come in and say, I ain't the daddy, I'm the daddy that stepped up. And year one, he ripped it down. I got you the number 1 pick and the number 1 wide receiver. You had your best year. Your wide receiver and your tight end had their best year ever. You were 7-10, and you were 3/4 quarters away from having a 10-win season. Yes. I acknowledge that. Hold on. But now we saying, if I'm Ryan Poles, okay, how can I help you even more? Let's fire the bum ass offensive coordinator and bring in a whole team of niggas who gonna get you right. Let's go get Keenan Allen. Let's go draft another receiver. Let's go get another tackle.
That's
like
what
we keep talking about Ryan Poles. No. I'm saying, and let's be clear. Obviously, I'm being passionate about this, but I agree with y'all in the sense that if we get Caleb, we're gonna be straight. I'm not denying
that. Gonna be
but my issue is this: Justin Fields, if you keep him, the man is gonna be a fucking problem with everything you know around him. You do,
but this is my thing.
But I agree with you. I do agree with you on that.
Yeah, but what has but take away the love that we have for Justin. Take away everything. Listen, take everything away. Like, we're really going crazy about somebody who is 29th in the league in completion percentage versus 33rd in the league in completion percentage versus zone. You're only 32 starting fucking quarterbacks. You're talking about a bottom 3 passing quarterback. Like, and we all fuck with Justin, but like, enough is enough. The same way the defense blew the game, there was definitely plays to be made on the field where Justin was either a tick too late, or like you said, his talent around him. But it's not even to go past what Bang said. They don't think Caleb Williams is just as good as Justin. They think he's better.
Yeah,
and he's cheaper, and he's their guy that they have saw. They've been scouting this motherfucker for over. They just start scouting him.
Orlando, I know they don't cover USC football and whatever bando you in right now, but them niggas defense wasn't shit.
They had the worst defense I've ever seen watching the college football game. Let me say that. Hey, real quick, Tay. Well, actually, both of you, Mikey, Dante, I agree with both of you all. What I'm saying is that I believe that they're just as good. Like, I think both of them are good quarterbacks. So if you were to trade that number 1 pick and you were to load up, or if you were to keep it, I think we're going to be fine regardless. What I'm saying is that, hey, man, just go ahead and drop the Erykah Badu next lifetime. This is literally what this is. This is next lifetime Erykah Badu. If the situation was different, we know we would not be having this conversation. Because Justin Fields would not be in danger because the Bears would not have the number 1 pick if we never made that finesse trade. And remind you, I've been saying for a year, I've literally been, matter of fact, forget a year, before the Carolina trade took place, and you could go listen to some dude or you could listen to this. I told y'all, this ain't the draft. That draft with Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, even though CJ Stroud, that wasn't the draft they was looking at in the first place. The whole reason why that trade happened was for this draft right here. So Justin knew coming in. He knew coming in that he had to ball out, or if these ones get the number 1 pick, it's going to be some questions. That's why at the beginning of the season, Justin Ass was like, oh, I can throw for 4,000 yards. I can do this. He called this Derrick Rose shot. It didn't happen. And it just so happens that the 7-10 team lucked up and got the number 1 pick because Ryan Poles looked at every team that was going after that pick, and he was like, yo, the Carolina Panthers is not only going to be Huff, they about to give me their wide receiver too. Are they dumb as hell? That's what's literally happened.
But to this point right here, we can have the number 1 pick for the next 3 years if we play this right. What does that fucking matter if you don't have the quarterback? Look at the San Francisco 49ers. They've been trying to fucking do this shit for the last 6 years. And they still haven't won.
Let me pause on all of that. Let me pause. Wait. Before you even go, let's pause on all that. They ain't gonna have the number 1 pick If they
It's only happened once.
Wait a minute,
It's only happened once.
Wait a minute, I just want to put I just want to put that in perspective. Shouts out to my
draft
homie
picks
T.
are just draft picks.
No, not even women. No, wait, not even that. Wait, not even that. Wait, not even that. Fam, if they trade the Washington Redskins, Caleb Williams, do y'all realize what the fuck they got over there?
Commanders, we support.
Excuse me, Commanders. But do you realize what they got over there? If you put Caleb Williams over there with Scary Terry and them, they gonna be decent too. They not gonna be 3-14 next year. Nobody's gonna be 3-4. If you want to trade, there's no team that you can trade Caleb Williams to, and they're gonna be 3-14 for the next 3 seasons. You're gonna you're gonna trade their pick back. And then the next couple of years, you're going to be drafting their pick at 16, 17, 20, 25, cool. 27.
Cool
so, yeah.
You should be cool with that.
No, you get started in the first round. Let me say this now, because y'all
I'm just saying that people think that they're going to trade Caleb Williams to like the Commanders, and the Commanders going to be up.
We're not saying that. I don't. That's crazy. But no, I'm going to say this and I'm going to stop. I also think it's wild as fuck how we suddenly just discredit all the shit he does outside of the pocket. Like,
ain't nobody I didn't discredit.
The man Mikey just went to 27, 29, even though we just said 2 out of the 3 years he had motherfuckers off 87 playing wide receiver for him. We keep
what that got to do with his processing? What does that got to do with his? What that got to do?
How many times? Hold on. How many times did we see motherfuckers say, "Wait, what are they running? Why are the receivers in the same spot?" Don't get me wrong. Some of it is him too. I agree with that. But what I'm saying is, if you put the motherfucking pieces around him and you got the new scheme, we gonna go crazy.
I was the only nigga on here when CJ Stroud got drafted. Was like, yo, I think they're going to actually be decent. Niggas like, who he throwing to? Take Dale Small last? I was the only one. CJ Stroud made them wide receivers better. DJ Moore, you didn't need to make better. But you look at everybody else was Huff. So while I agree with you to a point, the context is that if you are a great quarterback make wide receivers better. And that rushing stat is actually kind of false right there because it was Justin that was running the ball and doing that. If you take away Justin in that running game, they're actually 22nd. And that's also part of the problem. He was doing too much. And I'm sorry. As much as I mess with Justin too. And wherever Justin goes, I'm going to be a fan whether he's a backup or not. Justin ass can go ahead to the Birmingham Barons, and I would be a Birmingham Barons fan. I'm sorry. It's time though. And now this person that's in the relationship is a better mate now.
If a motherfucker breaking out the pocket for 62-yard touchdowns and 62-yard gains is doing too much, then y'all got it.
That's
Bring
fine.
on Caleb.
God bless him. I don't care.
You can throw it, bro.
Like, he's not doing it enough, bro. Like, that's the problem we're seeing here. And I'm gonna close up with this because we still got a shit ton of other shit we got to get into. I'm gonna close it up with this. Am I saying that he's to fully blame? No, if I gotta blame somebody, I'm giving 60 to 70% to blame for the infrastructure. But something that we're not considering, and I was there to watch this shit, he misses out on a lot of guys. And if you're a win of because guy, even if you have a quarterback that may not, a wide receiver that may not be the best, you can make them look better. Prime example, CJ Stroud. Niggas act like CJ Stroud got weapons. We know who the fuck Tank Dell was. Did he start playing with him?
He also requested the nigga though. He also
I did.
Nigga, so I mean,
I wanted the Bears to draft Tank Dell.
Look, and this thing we keep talking about halls. There's no hall out here. The imaginary hall. I don't believe that the fucking Washington Commanders are gonna give all that up to go up one spot. And ask yourself this via Ryan Pose. If somebody wants to give you that much for one player, maybe somebody say, I should take this. And this is my last point. We'll close this up and we'll actually get into actual reaction of Keenan Allen. What you gotta look at it is this. By the way, shout out Leon Rogers in the chat. Big salute to you. You also got to look at it like this from Brian Pose's job. And I think Dan Orlovsky said this too. If we take away all the, the other side arguments from this, you're Ryan Pose, you're not passing up on 3 Heisman candidates. Like you're winners and you're just not doing it. You're not passing up on Bryce Young again. You're not passing up on CJ Stroud. You're not passing up on Caleb Williams. You're not passing up on Jaden Daniels for a nigga that you hope will do well because we like him, and that's really
all of
what
a sudden,
it is right
all of a
now.
sudden now winning, all of a sudden winning a Heisman or something. I remember when you won the Heisman and you was like the 7th pick in the draft.
Yeah, well,
the 7th round pick in the draft.
What we talking about, man?
We don't give a fuck. Who cares? You know what I want? I want more than what the fuck I got the last 3 years. That's what I want. That's exactly what the fuck I want. You know what I'm saying?
So got an opportunity for it. But
well, too bad, nigga. Well, that shit's just not gonna happen. Like it's just not gonna happen. Like
it's crazy.
That's just what it is. Like
be on people.
Look, I have no loyalty to anybody but this team winning the goddamn championship.
Hey man,
okay, Cap.
I would kick my mama out the Bears if I needed to.
Good job, guys. Keep up the good work.
Keep up the good work, guys. Good job, guys.
Hey man, just go ahead and cue that Erykah Badu, man. We see you next lifetime.
Yeah, that's just really why I'm at with it, man. I want better. I want Bears fans to know better. That's all I'm gonna say. But let's move on because we do got a decent amount of stuff to get into before we have Cousin Dan Fridays in about 30 minutes. But let's just quickly before we go to other stuff. Let's talk about the Keenan Allen trade. Keenan Allen actually got traded last night to the Chicago Bears for a 4th round pick from the Los Angeles Chargers. And this was something when it happened, I had to keep refreshing. I didn't know if this was a fake page or something like that. That's pretty much what I got from him. But this is something that 24 hours ago, Bears fans were pissed. What the fuck is Ryan Poles doing? And things like that. We were talking about in the group chat. All of us were upset. Mikey, I know you was upset. We were all everybody was upset. And then now we are feeling a much better position than we are now getting Keenan Allen. Mikey, man, what's your feelings on this actual trade and like what it says to you? About what Ryan Poles is gonna do.
Man, I mean, I was shocked because I had told my girl, I was like, all right, no more phone. I put my phone down and we were watching some bullshit fucking movie. And then I was like, you know what, let me get up and put the AC on. And I looked at my phone and right away I got that alert. I think this is Ryan Poles telling you that he's gonna set up his rookie quarterback with everything that he needs. Like we said, the opposite of what they did for Justin Fields. I mean, you add somebody, a multi-time Pro Bowler like Keenan Allen to an already, wide receiver room with DJ Moore, like that's fucking crazy. Like realistically, that is a crazy 1-2 tandem. I think this signals that there might be a trade back, with the number 9 pick. Or that they think maybe the top 3 wide receivers won't be there, at pick 9, and they had to go get somebody. Either way, going ahead and getting in Keenan Allen, I want to see if they do an extension with him because, a 1-year deal, it is a little expensive for $23 million. Maybe if they can go ahead, give him a 2-year deal, reschedule that restructure that. But, I mean, you can't argue with that because we were talking about it, and I had tweeted it yesterday. That wide receiver room was looking very bad. You were looking at, before I laid down yesterday, it was DJ Moore, Velus Jones, Tyler Scott, and that was it. So now you add somebody like Keenan Allen, who is a 1, and now he's going to probably slide in as your 2 with DJ Moore as the 1. And then if you can add another person, like this has to be the best 1-2 tandem that we've had at wide receiver in our lifetime. I mean, I'm going to be 35 years old. I know the Brandon Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey combination was solid, but this is legit.
Yeah, I think this is the best on paper, and I'm going to say on paper because – we don't know yet till we actually see it, but on paper, this is the best wide receiver unit we've ever seen. And I think, the people who are, who are worried about, Keenan Allen's age, his injury history. I always thought his injury history was a little overrated. And I say that because it's not like he'd be missing big chunks of seasons like Mike Williams. And that's something where I wasn't really interested in Mike Williams, period. And I even said yesterday, Mikey, I was like, man, I wish they released Keenan Allen. And, I actually got what I wanted. But it puts him in a different situation because he's a number 1 wide receiver, but he's a number 2 with this team. And I think his go up and get it, ability, he's a great route runner, just like DJ Moore. It's the perfect complement to DJ Moore, and it helps free things up for the rest of the offense. Whether, I know they just signed, Dante Pettis, whether they go a wide receiver in the draft and you were able to get a Rome or, a Neighbors there to maybe, be the 3 guy. And then eventually when Keenan Allen does leave, that he'll be slot right in and take his place. I do believe there's going to be a short extension coming up. Nobody has told me this, so I'm not sourcing this or, saying I know for sure, but I'm guessing that it will be extension up. I don't think Ryan Poles would would, as great as as much as he cares about draft value, would give up a 4th round pick.
They own $5 million on Sunday.
Yeah, they own $5 million on Sunday, and there's also the $18 million that the Bears have to pay as well. And it also kind of goes with the Justin Fields discussion as well. If you're going to pay that to Keenan Allen, you're not going to pick up that 5th-year option. So I love the deal. It's a great deal for me. And like we said earlier, DeAndre Swift is a good running back. He also is a pass catcher. You having Cole Kmet coming off a season year. And then you bring in Garrett Everett, who I thought was a very underrated signing.
Yes.
Definitely, being out here watching them play with the Chargers, that's going to be a great threat, great end zone threat for the Bears. But if I have to be honest, I think this signals a trade down, to be 100% real. There's a whole bunch of different ways they could go. They could go best player available, get a wide receiver or get defensive end or get offensive tackle. They could do that, or they could trade back. I know everybody talks about the haul. The real haul to me here is if you trade back for the 9th pick. That to me is, I believe, something that's very much on the table, and I wouldn't be opposed to that, man. But there's just so many different ways you can go for this. But I also think that if you look at everything Ryan Poles has done this offseason, this signals that we're trying to win now. This is like the third 30-year-old they didn't sign so far. So I honestly think it's a great deal. Bang, what do you think about this move? We know you got on it late, but what's your opinion on it?
First of all, Dante kind of shaded me in the text group.
Dante shading everybody right now. He upset.
When I asked, is this the best wide receiver combo?
He said, "Unless some old niggas
That's just some old niggas I know."
I was talking about Bernard Bain.
That's why I put that. That's why
Marty Booker.
That's why I put that shit. So the Bears, the best Bears wide receiver combination. Shouts out to Leon Rogers. He'll know Willie Go and Dennis McKinnon. That's the number 1 group. Nah, let me stop bullshitting. Even though they was good, and Willie Go was fast in the motherfucker. Hey, look. As far as this is a move that you make if you all in. Simple as that. The Bears lacking draft capital, and they gonna pick that QB at number 1. Now they already used the 5th rounder for Bates for some reason, I don't know. But Allen gonna be better than any 4th round pick you gonna draft. Now the last 3 was Roshan Johnson, Tyler Scott, and Calvin Ridley, brother. I think he was a 4th round pick too. So if you can extend him and make that contract work better for the team, that's great. When he's healthy, he's a number 1 receiver, and he's one of the best route runners in the league. You pair him with Moore, Kmet, Everett, Swift, who's a good receiving back, as we talked about. Whether it is Fields or Williams, he gonna have targets all over the field. They just need one more slot. They need a slot because I don't know if Tyler Scott is ready for that. But man, I like this, and it just proves to me that they all in. They see what we got in the North, and they see it for the taking. So, no, I love this.
Dante, even though we know you hoping this is for Justin Fields, what do you think about this move?
I mean, y'all ain't got to keep throwing it out there, bro. Like,
I mean, is it not true?
yeah. No, I say this, like, no matter what, just focusing on the offense as a whole, it was a great move. I think, you added another trusted target, somebody that your quarterback could be able to rely on. It opens the field up. One thing about DJ Moore, he's never really had a number 2 that draws attention away from him. And now you have one of the best wide receivers in the league on his squad. So I know a lot of people talked about Keenan's age, but I mean, when you still producing like that, I'm not worried about that. And I was looking, because you keep talking about the haul, like, possibly trading back with number 9, and like the teams that are behind us that looking for quarterbacks is really Denver at 12, obviously the Vikings, the Raiders. The Vikings gonna use those 2 picks to try to move up and leapfrog somebody. So I'm not worried about Minnesota. So I mean, you could move back to 12 with Denver. But other than that, I think go best player available. When you have an opportunity in the top 10 to add a blue chip talent to your team, just do it. Like, a lot of people will sit here and say, best player available. I mean, or talk about positional value and all of that. No, go best player available. So you want to call your shot. You've had an amazing free agent run so far. It was slow at times, but again, at the end of the day, when you take a step back and look at every piece he added at every level is exactly what you needed. We'll see what happens with the offensive line, but if one of those tackles is available at 9, that's where you go at 9. Because I mean, you want to protect whatever quarterback you have back there. So I think you go best player available at 9. You don't trade it.
Oh, by the way, I just want to say this, Damien. I saw that quote earlier. We said if I bring up my jam again, it's up. By the way, I'm gonna bring up again, like I did when we was at the Jameson bar a couple days ago. I'm coming for it, nigga. You married already. Leave me alone. Anyway, let's go to our next topic. Cousin Dan Fridays is about 25 minutes, man. Dan got a lot of shit to say. Just let you know that he is a notorious Chicago Bears hater, and he told me that he's gonna tell us why Keenan Allen is not gonna save us. And we're gonna talk about.
Nigga ain't never watched the Keenan Allen game.
Oh, we're gonna get into it. And we're also gonna be talking about are we done with the 90s, the TikTok trend that's been going on. So expect a lot of yelling in about 25 minutes on Cousin Dan Fridays. But the homie Mike from Pillars will be joining us as well. But let's talk about a big news. It's been a big news cycle over the last couple 24 hours. Obviously, the Keenan Allen news. We also got word today that Juwan Howard will not be coming back coaching the Michigan basketball team. But Kenny Pickett getting traded.
Put that band back up. Put that band back up. Y'all can't come to the games no more.
You said y'all done. Kenny Pickett got traded. We'll talk about that in the local hour. But the biggest news today, Mr. Aaron Donald, to my opinion, the greatest defensive tackle of all time, has retired after only 10 years in the NFL. Meaning he has got almost every record that you could possibly think of. Super Bowl champion. I've never seen a defensive player completely take over a game like he did in the Super Bowl a couple years ago. The Cincinnati Bengals had them on the ropes, and he was like, nah. And it's really just locked that game down and made it a little easier for Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford to do what they do. I think you're going to start seeing more of these guys retire early. I think it's a dope thing when you can retire on your own and, on the top of your game. I think it's terrible for the Rams. I don't know where the fuck they go from right now. That's a big blow to not just your defense, but your entire team. But you got to salute him. He's a Los Angeles legend. He's the NFL legend. He's a Pittsburgh legend. The Hall of Fame tweeted it out right as soon as he retired. He's going to be first ballot. And and this is nothing against the Kelceys because I love the Kelceys, but just because I'm tired of Kelce coverage, I'm glad they won't be headlining Hall of Fame when this nigga's in there. It will be Aaron Donald will be headlining the Hall of Fame, man. Mikey, what's your thoughts on him retiring and just his career?
I mean, he went out on top and he went on his own merit. There was some talk that he was, considering retiring, I think the year after they won the Super Bowl, and he kind of flirted with it. But, I mean, he came in and he fucked shit up from the moment that he came in. You're talking about he played 10 seasons, 10-time Pro Bowler, 8-time first-team All-Pro, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, Super Bowl champion, all types of records. He's built like a fucking grenade. And, he's still young, 32 years old. He's leaving with what, we don't know, but no injuries. He's leaving on his own merit. He's got his family, and he did it his way. So shout out to him. I got the pleasure of meeting him back during the Super Bowl in 2020 before the world stopped down here in Miami. He was super cool, him and his brother. So he's a beast, man. And it's crazy. It always ties back to the Bears because that's who the Bears wanted, and they didn't grab him. They couldn't get him. He went right before them, and that's when we went and took Kyle Fuller.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started on that shit. Bang, man. What you think? I'm gonna do a Dante. You've seen a lot of great defensive tackles. Was he the GOAT?
Man, that Alan Page. You know what I'm saying? Alan Page. You know what I'm saying?
I was there with LT in the 80s.
I was there. Nah, man. He's the best I ever seen, and it's not even close. Like, this dude was constantly doubled and triple teamed and got through it. Them first 2 years in St. Louis, and then they moved to LA. They got a ring. They went to two Super Bowls. Finally got that ring. Yeah, there's nobody better than Aaron Donald, fam. And from a defensive tackle standpoint. And it's gonna be interesting to see, what the Rams do on that line. Like, as they, or just the team in general, because everybody's getting a little bit older. They got draft picks now, so they can start drafting people again and stuff. But when you lose him, you lose your entire defensive identity. And yes, I wish the Bears could have ended up getting him because, man, that would have been a different trajectory for us too. But shouts out to Aaron Donald, a great career. And he don't have to, practice with knives and shit. Like, he can go just sit down and everything now. He ain't got to do all that extra stuff to try to, get an edge. So shouts out to him.
Dante, you were at Aaron Donald has been to 2 Super Bowls. You were at his first Super Bowl in Atlanta, and the most boring Super Bowl I've seen in recent memory against the New England Patriots. Which, by the way, if you missed the Patriots documentary last night, as we were talking about last night was the fuck Bill Belichick episodes.
Yes.
100%.
So I gotta tap in. I gotta tap into that.
Real good, man. But Dante, seeing him firsthand and just being around, what's your opinion on his career, and him retiring?
Yeah, bro. Like you said, not only being at the Super Bowl, but just like when I was working with the Falcons, going down on the field in the fourth quarter, like there were certain players that you saw, and it was just like, oh no, he real. Like, I got the pleasure of seeing Julio every Sunday, and he was a fucking monster. But Aaron Donald was just different. And so for him to go out 10 years, like you said, 10 Pro Bowls, 8 All-Pros, over $150 million earned in his career. I think, some people are shocked at the 10 years, but it's going to get to a point where you see these guys as the guaranteed money starts to increase. They're going to play about 10, 12 years and get out of here. Like, I mean, prime example, I know he plays quarterback, so his longevity will probably be a little bit longer. But if Caleb Williams reach the heights that he says he wants to reach about being the legend and all of that, I wouldn't be surprised if he got some Super Bowls, played about 12, 13 years and got up out of there. Like, just because the money will be that big as we continue to grow the game. So shout out to Aaron Donald, like you said, best defensive tackle I've ever seen live, on tape, anything. So shout out to bro.
Big shout out to Grand Patron here in our comments. He said Street saying he was checked on fields. I just did a deep dive real quick. And this is from ESPN's Dan Graziano, reported on SportsCenter today that the Eagles had discussions with the Chicago Bears about a deal for Justin Fields prior to landing Kenny Pickett. The Eagles, from what I understand, talking to sources around the league, were one of the teams that had talked to the Bears about Justin Fields, but obviously could not get to the point where they agreed on a price. So they traded for Kenny Pickett, is what Dan Graziano just said. So I really want to know what Ryan Pat Poles is asking for.
Right. What is that? What is that price? What is that price?
If the Eagles, what were they asking for the Eagles is what I want to know. So shout out to Grand Patron over here in the comments for telling us to check that out, man. But we're going to talk about more of that in the local hour. So you might want to subscribe, patreon.com / Barber's Chair Network, so you can get in tune with everything we've got going on the local hour. We're going to be getting into the nitty-gritty with the Justin Fields conversation. And we're going to talk about the Bears free agency as well. But speaking of free agency, let's talk about the rest of free agency that don't involve the Chicago Bears. Been a very big transaction week in the NFL. Let's talk about some winners and losers in the NFL free agency. To me, I think the two biggest winners, honestly, I love what the fucking Houston Texans are doing. I love what they're doing right now. They're really building up that defense and giving CJ Stroud all the things they want to do. We've seen CJ Stroud have a rookie year that, no matter what people want to say, none of us saw happen, and nobody thought he was going to be that good out the gate. And as I talked to my brother, who's a diehard Ohio State fan, he played better last year than he did, and I believe in any of his years in Ohio State. So they've really been doubling down. Got Danielle Hunter. Added a couple other pieces. I really love what they're doing. I like what Philly did. I like, Saquon, who I think we all wanted as Bears fans. We wanted Saquon. I think that price a little bit outside of Ryan Poles' price range. I'm not mad at DeAndre Swift. That was a real good one that I had no problem getting, but I like what the Eagles did. And as far as like losers, man, I don't know I know what the Minnesota Vikings are doing, but this motherfucker really gonna sell his soul for fucking JJ McCarthy? Like, if you're doing all of this to get into the Drake May conversation, it makes a little bit more sense to me. Like, as our man Bang said, what'd you say? He's gonna be what are you gonna be coaching? Who, Bang?
Hey man, JJ McCarthy is going to be the head coach at Nazareth and LaGrange Park by the time he's 30 years old.
Biggest losers: Dallas and Baltimore. Baltimore got Derrick Henry. I don't agree with that. They did lose Patrick Queen, but I will say this, Bang. Like, yeah, I just don't understand why you're doing all that to get fucking JJ McCarthy. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So I don't like what they did. I think that it's not. I don't think the Bears are going to trade them in division, obviously, but that's something I didn't like. The Dallas Cowboys doing absolutely nothing. Like, you have Jerry Jones come out there and say we're going to go all in. These motherfuckers ain't making one move. There was a couple moves that made sense to me that I thought they were going to do. I thought they would get Aaron Jones, especially him being from the Dallas area and the way that the Packers got let go of him. So I didn't like that. And I'm not going to call the Titans a loser. That's a lot of money for Calvin Ridley, and I'm not a penny pincher. I'm team full. It's not my money. But that's a lot for Calvin Ridley, I believe. And also when I don't know what they feel about Will Levis, maybe they think he's better than what I think he's gonna be, but that's a pretty penny for me personally. Mikey, what stood out to you? You know, you've been on the front lines of everything on a free agency. Who's some winners and who's some losers for you over this past couple of days?
For me, man, I really like what Atlanta's doing. I mean, I know that the big question mark in the room is that Kirk Cousins is 36 coming off of, the torn Achilles and we're not living in the ages of back in the day where the Achilles was a career ender. So I'm really liking what Atlanta did. You go ahead and you get Kirk Cousins, you pair him with Drake London, Bijan, Kyle Pitts, and then you go and you add a Rondale Moore and a Darnell Mooney. Like you went and got Kirk Cousins some guys. They're going to be fast out on that field. You still got Tyler Algier. So I really, really like what the Falcons did in a winnable division. Like, I've been going back and forth with your brother Flows about this because he keeps saying like they're not in a win now mode, but for sure they are. They've been building up that offense and stacking top 10 picks for the last 3-4 years. So they need to progress. So as long as Kirk Cousins is healthy.
Did he tell it to you in a real educated, I'm better than you manner, which pisses me off when he does?
Yeah. And I had to tell him like, bro, you're not on the clock right now, brother. This ain't theology 101. All right. We talking free agency, NFC South. But so I really like what the Falcons did. And then as far as honestly for me, I think the Vikings are winners in this too. Just because they've moved on from the Kirk Cousins experiment. It got them what it got them. It just didn't work. And I think now they're resetting. They added some talent on defense. That's another thing that I got into it with your brother about because he thinks Van Ginkel and some of those guys, Jonathan Grenard, it doesn't make any sense for them. But I think it does. And from what I've been reading, what I've been seeing, they're not moving up for J.J. McCarthy. They're moving up for Drake May. So if they're able to swing that, then, we might have the top 2 quarterbacks from this year's class in the NFC North. Oh, Damien, what do I think about drafting Jared Verse? I think he's a beast, man. Shout out to my boy Debo in the chat. He's been on Jared Verse like for the last season and a half. I think for the Bears, we wanted them to address defensive line with somebody like Bryce Huff, Daniil Hunter, Jonathan Grenard. I think they have it in their mind to go and get that fucking blue chip defensive end that's only 23, 24 years old and have him for the next 4 to 5 years running crazy and go ahead and sign him to a big contract if he takes off and pairing him with Montez Sweat other than paying for a veteran. So I would be fine with Jared Verse. I think if you could add a Jared Verse to that defensive line with the secondary that we have, then that's just going to be a team that's playing fast. So I'm all for that. And for the people, while I'm speaking now, I got a parlay for y'all. I got a college parlay for y'all. It's conference tourney time. We're taking Damien's North Carolina Tar Heels. Okay. We're taking the Florida Atlantic Owls. We're taking the Houston Cougars, and we're taking Arizona. It's a little light parlay, plus 150, little bankroll builder. We taking that tonight. Get paid. Holla at my Twitter tomorrow for some picks because I will be firing all day tomorrow.
Oh yeah, man, definitely got us a little parlay up in there. Bang,
that's
man.
for tonight too. Those are for tonight too. So that's for tonight.
Bang, man. Well, what's your thoughts? Who the winners and losers out of free agency to you?
I really love the Houston Texans and what they did, and it's mainly because of getting Daniil Hunter to come home. You got Hunter and Anderson, bookends. Oh, that defense is gonna be nice, and they already decent in the defensive backfield too. That's the best part. Like I said on the halftime show, your defensive line is going to aid your defensive backfield. They already got it. So with that defense and with what's going on in that conference right now, they're really set up. Well, not the conference, excuse me, but Archery too. But the division, they can really sew that joint up. You know, so I love what the Texans are doing. Joe Mixon at the running back position, because that's something that they've been trying to shore up. They had drafted Damian Pierce. He came out, did his thing, and then he got hurt last year. I think Devin Singletary was over there for a little bit, and you know, he's not somebody that you want to rely on. So you got somebody in Mixon that you can definitely rely on. Dallas is the easy fail here. Like, they didn't do anything until Eric Kendricks was like, I think I'll slide on over there. Now, that's partly because their quarterback got this big ass cap hit, close to 60 million. So you kind of, you know, can't do anything. But that's a team that they don't necessarily have to go big, but their linebacker position is going to need more than what they got. And can they address that in the draft? Yeah, you probably could see somebody like Jeremiah Trotter Jr. get out there, or a couple of others. But yeah, you know, I'm still disappointed at what they've done, because I believe that they still need help on that defensive side of the ball.
Shout out to James Teague in the chat. He said, put my parlay in. I like the money that I have, brother, so I will not be doing that. Dante, who's some winners and losers with you of free agency?
Just real quick, one of the winners, I think the NFC South is going to be a really entertaining division, because I think the Bucks are still going to win it. Bring it back Baker, bring it back Mike Evans, bring it back those key pieces on your defense. You guys, a team that was good last year, and you finally saw, you know, Baker's biggest thing has been inconsistency. Like, he showed some flashes when he was in Cleveland before he hurt his shoulder. Same with Carolina, it was up and down. But you know, we saw him last season. He should have won comeback player of the year, but you know, they gave it to Flacco, which was wild as hell. But I think they're one of my winners, and I think the losers it really is Minnesota for now, until we see what they do with these picks they just added. But I think Minnesota and Dallas, you backed yourself into this corner, because one thing we always talk about, well, we never talk about it. Yeah, you can get to a point where you give people all this money and you start signing them, but eventually the salary cap does come back. You can do a lot of money flexing, money moving, but at some point it gets to a point where you got to, you know, the rubber meets the road. So we're going to see what they do with Dak. So I think the Dallas is one of my losers. And one more loser, I would say Denver, simply because they were never supposed to be in this position in the first place. Like, you brought Sean Payton in, they were supposed to be, you know, competing for that division, and they were terrible. So, you know, we've got to see what they do at the quarterback position and what they do going forward. They got rid of Jerry Jeudy, who has been, you know, disappointing for them. So I think right now, Denver, Dallas, and Minnesota are my losers.
Definitely, man. Big shout out to everybody watching us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, everything, man. As we get into our last topic before Cousin Dan Fridays, I'm just gonna bring the homie Mike in real quick. We got the man who pays the bills, and Mr. Mike Willis, co-founder of Pillars. Mike, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, man? How y'all
what's going on?
Friday?
Doing pretty swell. Doing good. You can hear us?
Swell. Yeah,
swell. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah, we good to go, man. We just basking in this good Bears Friday, man. But before we do Cousin Dan Fridays in about 5 minutes, which we will challenge every take that my crazy cousin has, let's talk about Nick Saban, man. Nick Saban out here crying about NIL deals, which me, I look at it like this. I do think there's some valid points that Saban has made about NIL. I don't think it's a perfect situation, obviously. But he's trying to frame it like it's about the kids, and I call bullshit. What it's about is Nick Saban, and even Deion said a little, even though I'm rocking the Colorado hoodie, you know, I'm Team Prime all day. Deion kind of said the same thing, where, you know, about the power going really to the players. And, you know, basically these programs got to pitch more than just a program to get some of these top name recruits. And to me, it just sounded like Nick Saban was bitching about, you know, not being able to have business as usual. You know what I'm saying? And that to me is just something where it's like, the old days are past, bro. We can sit up here and talk about ways that NIL needs to be fixed, and it does need to be fixed. But let's just cut the bullshit and say, well, what you really want. You know, you just sit down somewhere. Yeah, shout out Jay Sanders in the chat. He says Saban got rich off those kids. He needs to, yeah, exactly. Like, sit your old ass down. Like, it's a changing of the guard here, and it has nothing to do about the future of these kids. They're talking about, well, I brought them their home. We cooked food for them, and that don't mean nothing. These kids want to get paid, man, and rightfully so. So that's what I take from this. Not too much. I see some points. I think it's slightly a right message, but wrong messenger. Mikey, what do you feel about, you know, what's been going on with Saban and what he's been saying?
It's exactly like you said. I mean, these coaches are being priced out. They can't, you can't go and sit in a kid's living room anymore and try and teach them on the Alabama way. It's about that bag. And I think we're seeing it all across college sports, even if you go to the basketball side. I mean, they done got Coach K up out of there. Roy left. Calhoun left. Boeheim left. Like all of these coaches, Boeheim was one of the first ones to really say, like, I don't think I could compete with this transfer portal and the NIL. So, it is what it is. Like, tough break. What you gonna do? Like, you were paying all this time, under the table. Now you can openly pay and you can't. So I just think he's crying. It's just the old guard versus the new guard. I do think there needs to be some way of regulating, the transfer portal and how much money certain schools get, because you have certain schools that are at a disadvantage. You got schools with $165 million pot of NIL money, and you got a school with no money. So it's just going to really be the death of college sports across the nation, because certain schools not going to be able to keep up. We're seeing it with the NCAA. I mean, there's talk about Florida State joining the Big Ten in a couple years. Like, they're up for grabs. Like, eventually we'll see Notre Dame join the conference, so it's all about the bread. It's all about the bread. But I just think Nick Saban couldn't really, I don't think he couldn't coach. We know that he could still coach, but he just didn't want to go through it. Now it's more than just recruiting. It's, well, how much money? That's the talk right from when you walk into a kid's living room. So, oh well, tough break.
Mike, man, what's your take on everything we've been hearing about Saban and how he's been going around?
I agree with y'all completely. Also, now that the player's gonna be making more than him, that's also a thing. But one thing I would say is give Reggie Bush back his Heisman. Because all this NIL shit, I'm like, well, you can give Reggie Bush back his Heisman then if that's the case. But yeah, like it's just times change, bro. Like it's he can't compete with it no more. Now it's more so of a fair playing field, So now you're not just getting all the best players in the United States. A lot of other people are getting it. So now he got to compete a little bit harder. He got to recruit a little bit harder, and he's just not used to that. He's getting up there in age, and like you said, all the other guys, hey, they got out of there. This is just a new era of recruiting, and if you can't get with it, you just got to get lost, And obviously he didn't probably want to go out that way, because that's what it seems like. Okay, like I'm getting kicked out because the NIL is what really getting me out of there. But really, it's just time for you to go. You can't get with it. You can't coach forever. You know what I'm saying? So he did what he did. Still an amazing coach. His recruiting tactics were amazing. He always had at least a top 5 recruiting class. So you can't hate on that. But it's just time to move on.
Bang, quickly give your opinion, and we're gonna bring Dan in. What you think about Saban?
Man, he's just an old coach that want that old thing back. Simply put, you know what I'm saying. Now, is NIL perfect? Nah, and they probably do need some sort of regulation, but it ain't going nowhere. And you got to adjust the dip, and that's what he did. Look, doing the Cupid shuffle with black families and lying about how your son gonna get in the NFL ain't gonna work no more. That's it. Stars might get the shine and they might get the bread, but NIL to me is about the other players who might not be able to get to the NFL and stuff, but they can still get paid and take care of your families, man. Everybody ain't going to the NFL. So when you're looking at, the person who came in as a top 15 recruit and stuff, it's a lot of those folks that come in and you think they're going to be raw and go to the NFL, but they don't do nothing. But they can still profit off their likeness. That's cool. Mm-hmm. But, hey, you can't go and say, yo, where's the spades at? Miss Mabel, let me tell you about your son and why your son is going to play for me at the Crimson Tide and be a star. Like, that ain't going to happen no more.
Oh, man, we're going to have Mikey's going to be back in the local hour, man. So, Mikey, we'll be seeing you in about 30 minutes, my brother. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty of what's been going on in the Chicago sports landscape on the Patreon side of things. Right now, we're going to bring in one of the most polarizing, popular segments on this show. That is Cousin Dan. We're going to bring in my Cousin Dan right now on here. You can bring him in, Dante. Go ahead. There we go. Cuzzo, what's going on? First, we got to do him right. We got to hit him with there we go. Cousin Dan Friday. Cuzzo, what is going on?
What up, man? What's going on, y'all? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
What's going on, bro? What's going on?
You notice I ain't got no props. I ain't got no glasses. I'm about business this week. I'm about business. I am here. It's going to be a bad week. If you motherfuckers was mad at me last week, or when was no, we did this.
That was 2 weeks ago.
If y'all was mad at me 2 weeks ago, y'all really going to be pissed today. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. All
so
right.
we kick this shit off.
Let's get into your first topic, man.
King Henry can't save you, Kodak Jack. Listen, bro.
Tell them who Kodak Jack is.
Kodak Jack is Lamar Jackson. They know who the fuck Kodak Jack is, bro.
Okay.
That signing didn't move me at all, bro. Like, I'm looking at this shit like, first of all, the running back landscape is kind of ass to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? The running back.
This is cap.
It is not. The running back position is just like, but I mean, y'all motherfuckers is running to post that read option and all this shit, bro. That don't mean shit to me, man. The NFL, like, it's still fucking running, bro. Like, the motherfucker, if y'all running the read option, y'all still running the ball. That's not what's going to win in the NFL today, bro. That shit don't move me. And then Derrick Henry, in my opinion, and I'm sorry if it's going to sound racist, but he does better with a more traditional quarterback, okay? Mm-hmm. You running that fucking eye power formation or whatever the fuck you running. You know what I'm saying? Lamar Jackson, I don't they need to get that nigga a high-profile receiver. I don't understand what giving him somebody that does what he does is going to do, bro. That shit don't move me. I still think the Ravens are going to be fucking losers when it matters. I'm sorry, but Kodak Jack, that shit, it's just not going to save me.
Now, I'm going to get it for the Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, as I'm looking through, I've been looking through the messages. Not all of it. I could sure, because me and you talk every day, and I swear you were saying, I hope the Cowboys get King Henry. King Henry, we need him. You literally were saying that. Now you're coming over here since he didn't go to your Cowboys, which I don't know that you love it. He didn't go to your Cowboys. Now it's like, oh, Lamar Jackson, oh, that shit don't matter. Who King Henry didn't. He's not gonna affect anything.
He fits better with the Cowboys.
But it doesn't matter. You're just saying like he's just not going to help them at all. Is insane. Like
I don't think so. I don't think like you can't sign a fucking running back nowadays and be like, oh, this is going to change our franchise. Like, no, motherfucker, can you pass the ball or not?
Right.
I don't give a fuck about Derrick Henry. I do agree with you that they need a receiver as well. But that's going to take the workload off of. They're going to take the workload off of Lamar Jackson even running the ball. Like now they got to worry about, okay, I got to tackle this big 6'5" motherfucking running back, or Lamar Jackson could take off. That's going to be very difficult to a team that already had one of the best run. I think they had the best running game last year. So that's going to, and you add Derrick Henry to this. It's not Gus Edwards, my guy. Where did they get them?
Like, that's not Gus.
Having the best running game got them where? Where did they get them?
It got them to an AFC Championship game with an MVP. It got Dak Prescott where? What has Dak Prescott done? Because this is what it's all about.
Dak Prescott doesn't have King Henry. He does. He's never had. What are you talking about?
But he has fucking CeeDee Lamb. He has Brandon Cooks. He has an offensive line. He has listen. Dak Prescott is just a mixed Kirk Cousins. That's
what
all he is.
What does this have to do with what I said, Mike? Stay on topic, Mike. What does this have to do with the Ravens?
I'm staying on top because you're saying, I'm going off our messages. You were praising Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I don't think he's ass. I don't think he can Baltimore.
So he can help Dak, but he can help a two-time MVP.
Correct. What did I just say? King Henry does good with a traditional quarterback, not a motherfucker that's going to. He's going to give you 3,500 yards max.
Tannehill is not a good quarterback.
He's not. And you see Derrick Henry did well with him.
Trash. So you put him next to Lamar Jackson in the backfield, and you don't think that's going to do any help to Lamar on the Ravens.
I didn't say that. I just said he can't move me. Like, I don't think what you think is going to happen is going to happen. They still going to get clapped because their quarterback can't pass over.
Their quarterback is a two-time MVP. What are we doing?
I don't give a fuck.
What are we doing?
I'll say this.
No. He's mad because he
ain't won shit.
What has Dak won? What has Dak
won? Nothing.
But you praise Dak.
You praising Lamar for the same shit because he's getting them fraud-ass MVPs.
But to be fair, Lamar has been further than Dak. Dak has never been to an NFC Championship.
So it's the race for second or third. That's what
Lamar
it's
has
about.
braids, and Dan used to have braids, and Dan had to cut his braids off. That's what it's about. It's about braids, bro. It's about braids, bro. He's mad because Lamar and me have braids. Now he called that day. That's why you mad, bro.
If y'all niggas want to look like Kia boys, that's on y'all. I had to outgrow that shit. I don't want to look like a Kia boy because I didn't want to be a Kia boy no more.
No.
I ain't want motherfuckers.
You had top joints. You had you
I had the man bun.
And then no, and then you
I had the man bun.
You went blonde. That's why you mad, my guy.
Okay. I went blonde before I cut him off.
Look, hey, Bane, do you got anything to add to this, man? What you think about that? You know, Derrick Henry, get he help?
What's going on?
He said,
No. I think he's going to help, but I don't think this makes them any more of a Super Bowl contender that they was. Like this this does not move the needle to me to say, yo, they're gonna beat Kansas City. They're gonna be in the same place they ass was at because they still don't have enough for Pat.
I mean, they don't have a pass. You can say what it is. That motherfucker can't pass the ball. And that's why
that's Scott. That's Scott. That's what Scott to do. I like Lamar Jackson.
That's
what Scott.
That has been thrown on me, but it don't move me.
I don't give a fuck. We like our quarterbacks, and that's okay. You can call us racist. I don't give a fuck.
You like your quarterbacks white. You like Josh
I
Allen.
like him quarterbacky, motherfucker.
You like Josh Allen.
I like Josh Allen. He stepped back. Josh Allen.
Hey, now, Dan, say that shit again. Say that shit again, because that shit was funny as hell. You like your quarterbacks what?
I like my quarterbacks quarterbacky. God damn it.
Quarterbacky. I don't think it moves the needle either. Do I think it'll help? Yeah, it'll help. But at the end of the day, until I'm not saying he can't do it until he actually does it by beating. If you're gonna beat Patrick Mahomes, if you're in the AFC, that's what you're building your team for, to beat Patrick Mahomes. It don't matter about running the fucking football
at all.
That fucking Chiefs defense can slow that shit down, especially with them bringing the crew they got back. They done brought back Spagnuolo. They done brought back Chris Jones. We even heard about the rumors about them getting rid of Snead, but I don't think they're gonna get rid of Snead. So the run game don't mean a goddamn. Can't you beat them with your arms? That's why I don't think it matters too much when it comes to this, man. But
after a fucking receiver, that shit don't move me, bro.
Yeah, like that's why I'm at. I think it's a good move for Derrick Henry more than anybody. He can,
a sucker is a sucker, right?
Yeah, better. It said Scott found his tribe. Get out of here. Let's go to your next topic, Dan. Man,
we are his tribe. I am his tribe.
Yeah,
all right, man. This is actually something that I've never said in my life, or I think I would ever say. But the NCAA women's is more entertaining, more fun than the NCAA men's. Like, there's so much star power in the women's division right now. I don't even know who the cold niggas are in the NCAA men. Like, I don't know who nice like that, and I don't know if it's me not like being interested as much and not watching, but like I'll be watching fucking LSU and South Carolina when they be going at it, and I fucks with Juju Watkins and Paige Beckers, and like I'm like fully immersed into NCAA women's basketball right now. And I'm honestly probably gonna watch more of the women's tournament than I am the men's, simply because I just don't know them niggas, man.
I want to get Dante your take on this, man. You watch a lot more college women's hoops than all of us, man. What you think about what Dan is saying here?
No, it's facts. I mean, partially because I think it's finally more exposure. Like they've quietly been playing better than the dudes for several years now. And now we're finally seeing it because you're seeing ESPN and these other networks finally put more money behind them. Same with the WNBA. Not obviously they're not better than the NBA dudes, but you're seeing more exposure. You're seeing more of their players on television consistently, and so now their game is growing. Just like when you saw in the playoffs when they were selling out. But as far as the college hoops, I think this is great because this is going to lead to an explosion in the WNBA. A lot of these players that you've seen, a lot of these players that have become household names now when they go to the WNBA, you're going to keep following them because you followed them in college. And that's something that they never had. Exactly. So you're going to be like, damn, where's she going? Like prime example with Caitlin Clark, she's about to team up with Shorty from South Carolina in Indiana. Like that's going to lead to more people watching them.
That's going to be
like,
nasty.
so it's definitely a fact though. The women have been playing better than the men and have more name recognition than the men for years now.
And this is Kobe's dream. Like this is what he was into before he left us. Like getting his daughter, You know what I'm saying? Like we was all ready for Gigi, but this is like what Kobe envisioned, bro. And it's here and it's dope.
And not to cut you off there, because I agree with you as well. But just like someone just said, you have more attachment to these players now because we see them more now. Like with the men's basketball, college basketball, they're one and done. They're leaving. So we have no attachment for them. We don't see their development or nothing. You're going to see Juju Watkins for 2 more years. We saw Angel Reese for this many years. You're seeing Caitlin Clark. They were talking about she should have came back for a 5th year just for the NIL to get that money. Like, so now you're seeing them. You're seeing them develop. They're becoming better basketball players. So the rest of the men's basketball, they're one and done. The top players, they're one and done. So there's no attachment to these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, their team's not building anything like that. LSU built their team. South Carolina built their team. USC is building their team. All types of things. Like, UConn's still good. So it's that they're there. What do and women's college basketball? They got to stay on 4 years. Do they got to stay on 4 years?
No, they don't. They can do whatever they want.
No, I think it's their junior year. They got to stay till their junior year, I believe.
Right.
Really?
So they got at least
Right. They got to stay for a minute.
3 years. They got at least stay to 3 years. And like the men's basketball, I just think they're not guided. They're not guided well. Because sometimes when people go out in the draft, I'm like, who the hell told you was going to be a top 10 pick? You know, so we just have no time. And the women, they just play better team ball than them. Like, but it takes time to develop it. You got to think about this young freshman guy that's going to the NBA. That means he only played like 30 games in college, and now he's playing with grown men. Now you got to go up there against De'Aaron Fox when you were just 18 months ago going against a high school student. You're going to get cooked. You know what I'm saying? So it takes time. So I agree with you. The women's, like even the scuffle between LSU and South Carolina, let that shit happen.
Right. I was like, let the rules right.
That shit happen.
Right.
Like, let it happen. Like, it's part of
You can't have Buddy. You can't have Buddy jumping on the court though. Like, bro jumping over the scores table. They should have knocked his ass out. That was too far.
Like, you wouldn't do that at a men's basketball game. Why are you doing it for the women's? Like,
And he knew that too. When he stepped on that court, he was like, "Damn, she bigger than I thought." That nigga.
Hey, no, hey, it's just Mike.
He gonna get the swinging?
Mike, real quick. They got to stay in. They got to stay in college until they 22.
Oh, that's whack.
Oh, so it's not even a year. It's 20. So
Nah,
basically
it's
almost
just
4
age.
years.
Yeah. Once you hit 22,
So
then you can
almost
renounce your eligibility if you still got it. But it's
So
22.
It's an age thing. It's an age thing. Okay, nice to know. Thank you.
And I'll say this too, like, you know, as somebody who, you know, I don't watch a lot of college basketball, I'm not gonna lie, but I've known about these players. Well, like you said, Dan, I don't know nobody, like any of the male guys. Like, we coming up, like next month is the not next month, but 2 months we got the lottery, not the lottery. Who the fuck is like the #1 pick? Like who? Like this time last year, obviously he wasn't
all
college
European players.
Yeah, all European players. Like
some more get overtime elite.
That's
overtime elite.
Some random nigga we don't know about. So to me, like to have that, you know, lead your league or whatever, I think that's dope, and it has a good funnel of talent into the WNBA, which will help get that even bigger and better. You know, Caitlin Clark, everything you seeing from her, Indiana has the #1 pick, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like.
Yeah, Indiana got the #1 pick, so they already go grab her. I think it's Aaliyah Boston is the one over there.
Aaliyah Boston.
Aaliyah Boston. So then you got that, and if Indiana's a great basketball market, and if they take advantage of actually marketing these players correctly, I think it's a good move, man. So I definitely like what they're doing. But Bane, do you have a take before we move on to our next two? Because that's when we finna argue. We finna argue on these next two.
No, I think y'all right. There's no there's passion in the women's game. There's not no names. There's not no story. And I think NIL and the transfer portal affects basketball more than it affects football, because basketball is really tribalism when it comes to teams. Like, these teams really mess with their players and they support them. So it's like, yo, when have we ever went through a Duke versus North Carolina game and only known like one player, Kyle Filipkowski and stuff like that? Even though most of my man named RJ, I can't remember his last name. But theirs is just too, like, that's where the tribalism is. There's no story in college basketball. Like, and don't nobody care about the Houston Cougars, man.
That shit crazy.
Let's go to our next topic, man, as it's been very exciting day on the show, but we got the guy who's going to bring us down.
Yeah, man. You know, I know you motherfuckers are like getting rings fitted and planning parades and shit. And all the niceties are over. Them two first topics was So now it's time to really get into the shit, bro. Keenan Allen can't save you, Chicago. And let me finish this shit. This is going to be a long, drawn-out thought that I'm going to speak to you all because I know you motherfuckers are slow and delusional. So I understand you think you got, Keenan Allen, I don't even give a fuck about his age. You're looking at, 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns. Oh, my God, Chicago. Oh, we finna go fucking crazy. There is one thing and one person that you motherfuckers are leaving out of the equation. Justin fucking Herbert and Phillip Rivers, bro. Like, that motherfucker has only had an elite quarterback.
I told you
Phillip
Rivers.
Throwing him the fucking nigga. I knew Phillip Rivers played for the Chargers. You ain't do shit but text some bullshit.
When you text me yesterday,
let me finish.
Go ahead.
Let me finish. This motherfucker Justin Herbert averages 5,000 yards a season. And you telling me y'all signing an aging wide receiver that's either gonna have scramble boy or a rookie fucking quarterback passing him the ball, and you think that this shit is just gonna be the greatest shit, the greatest show on turf? Let me tell you something. This is one of two things are gonna happen. He's either going to have like an 800-900 yard season because it's either going to be a rookie QB or scramble boy passing him the fucking ball, or he's going to have a pretty decent season, 1,100 yards, some shit, fleece y'all into like a 3 or 4 year deal, and it's going to be fucked. Or if he has an 800 or 900 yard season, he's leaving after this shit. I'm sorry. I know y'all think y'all just won a Super Bowl, but that shit, I'm sorry. It just don't. Y'all missing a quarterback in that situation. Assuming Caleb is just going to come in and throw for 4,500 yards is fucking hilarious, but that sounds like Chicago to me.
Okay.
Y'all ready?
All right. So hear me out.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So you said, the first thing you said is he might come in and throw 800 yards, 900 yards. You text me when Gabe Davis got signed that Gabe Davis is fucking nice.
He is.
Oh my fucking God. Gabe Davis never caught 50 fucking passes in his life. He had one 800-yard season. But you're telling me Keenan Allen, is Keenan Allen better than Gabe Davis?
Yeah.
Hello?
Okay.
Is he?
Yeah.
So now you're saying
Who's going to be Gabe Davis's quarterback?
Trevor Lawrence.
Trick off Trev. There we go.
Trick off Trev.
All right.
Go ahead.
Gabe Davis. So back to the witch hunt. So now you're saying Caleb because now you're getting convinced that he's come to the Bears. Now Caleb is just a rookie.
At all.
You were just saying
I'm not allowed to speak on that though. I was reprimanded when I brought that topic up. So we got to move on.
You said this man was generational. So, but now since he's coming to the Bears, right? So if he's generational, he should come to not just is he gonna come to a rookie quarterback? Or no, he's not coming to a rookie quarterback.
He's gonna be a fucking rookie, Mike.
Generational player. I know, but you're saying like he's gonna be mid.
We don't know what he's gonna be. You're assuming a lot. That's the fucking point I'm trying to make here.
But you're also assuming that Keenan Allen
quarterback is gonna be passing him the ball.
Exactly. Everything is assumption.
That's not gonna happen, no matter what. That's not gonna happen,
that's
motherfucker.
Assumption, Daniel.
It's either a rookie or scramble boy. Choose one.
Right. But you don't know how many
that's
yards
now 5,000 yards. A rookie or scramble boy doesn't equal what Keenan Allen is used to. Stop it.
What? Dan, you didn't even know. You fucking thought Keenan Allen chose to come to the Bears. I had to tell you yesterday.
You lying, G. You can't just lie to make your point, Mike.
I swear to God, you said.
I said he didn't take a pay cut. That is a choice.
No.
If you don't take a pay cut, nigga, we're trading you. That is choosing not to remain with the team. What part don't you?
No. You can either you're under contract. Dan, you said, why would he go from fucking Jay Herbo to motherfucking Scrapper Boy? Where's he coming? Well, he didn't choose where the fuck he want to go because he got traded for a fourth rounder. He's not, a free agent could go anywhere he wants, bro. Anywhere he wants. He's not a free agent. He got traded there, bro.
I said I'm not taking a pay cut to make Justin Herbert. That's what I said. Why would I do that?
Okay, but here's the thing, though.
Right, but you only can take a pay cut if you're in a contract. He's still
right,
under
and they
contract.
About a pay cut. He said no, and me, I'd have been like, "Fuck it."
He said, "Yeah, trade me to the Bears."
No, he didn't know where he was going.
Manager.
There's only one. There's literally only 4 other quarterbacks like Justin Herbert. So I mean, what are we doing?
Bro, he didn't get to choose what quarterback he plays with.
I understand that, but he chose not to stay with one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Hold on, look, we got to do it like this, bro. Like I don't think anybody's expecting Keenan Allen to save the Bears, quote unquote. But
that's not what I've been seeing on Twitter. That's not what I've been seeing.
Okay, look,
the tweets. They be lying on them tweets. I don't be seeing that shit, bro.
I dead ass seen a tweet. I can pull it up.
I'd be on Twitter for the
Somebody
filth.
said DJ and Keenan Allen are a top, are probably the best duo in the NFL.
Nigga, Darius Slay said that. That wasn't Darius Slay tweeted that.
Actual cornerback said that.
Yeah, actual cornerback tweeted that. That wasn't a fan.
Do you believe that bullshit?
Darius Slay tweeted that shit.
Can you believe that?
I'm just telling you what they said. What the fan? Fucking Tyreek Hill tweeted the same thing. Like, this is the thing that I'm saying.
Justin Jefferson is better than both of them niggas combined, and you telling me they the best duo in the fucking league?
They said duo. Who's Justin Jefferson's duo guy?
That's what I'm saying. By himself.
Jordan Addison.
Both of them niggas. How you gonna say that's the best duo? I'm taking AJ and Devontae over them niggas, dog. What are we doing here? Who the fuck says shit like that?
A fan didn't say that though. An actual safety, an actual cornerback in the NFL who got to guard them niggas said that. This thing, look, I respect.
And that's why the Eagles be getting clapped because of big play Slay. That nigga was ass.
That ain't got nothing to do with it. Like
big play Slay been ass.
Hey, Shaq said, look, I'm saying you can be still, you still have like a different opinion because you're playing. My thing is this: I respect your Bears hate because we gotta take it back a couple years ago.
It's the
truth. It is Bears hate. It's Bears hate. We took take back a couple years ago. You were a big Justin Fields guy.
Never.
You were a big Justin Fields guy.
Mike, tell him he's lying, please.
Until the Bears traded up to get that nigga.
I don't like
we
Ohio
was
State.
At your house. We was at your house. We was at your house, and you said, "I hope he does well." I don't know. That was a quote that you had when we was at your house.
I don't wish bad on no athlete, bro. I'm
not. My man that had false flagging.
I swear to God, I would never say I want him to have a bad career. I've never said that.
Okay, so I got a question for you. I got a question, and then we'll move on to, we're going to get bang opinion on this. We'll move on to the next topic. Mm-hmm. So let's just say he does have a really good year. And, I'm not saying Caleb Williams. Let's say Caleb Williams wins Rookie of the Year. He plays good, has 3,500 yards, throws 30 touchdowns. Then what you going to say?
I'm going to congratulate the Commanders for fucking drafting that nigga. What are you saying, bro? What are you saying? Y'all are so, listen, Scramble Boy is on that roster for a reason. I know
he's on the roster because he can't find a trade partner right now. That's why.
That may be one reason. Or Pose might be doing all this shit to build around Scramble. You never know. The Bears are stupid, but okay.
The Bears are stupid.
The Bears are stupid.
He has been stupid.
I pray to God they pass on Caleb. But
I got a jersey. You got to tell me a quarterback, bro. I got a jersey for you.
Bang, what you got to say about this, bro?
Don't worry, you're gonna be talking on the next topic. That's what
we're gonna be talking about the next time. Let's go to this next topic, man, because I wasn't aware of this trend. I actually told Mike that I thought he came up with we done tonight. That's how much I don't get. That I had no idea.
I came up with it.
Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
We done with the 90s. Why are you mad? Why y'all so mad that? Listen, this is what's happening. TikTok. Probably the newest piece of social media that is like the hottest piece of social media, like taking off for years. People like Bang, people who fucking, worship Michael Jordan have said, oh, the 90s, that was the golden era of basketball. The defense was the best. Michael Jordan was fucking God. He killed it's like, all right, cool, man. This is what we got when we was like, nah, I think it's, I think Bron the GOAT, blah, 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 blah. So now people are going back, looking at these fucking games, looking at the competition and being like, this shit is terrible. This is bad basketball. This is not elite guard play. This nigga Michael Jordan was literally the only cold nigga like that. It wasn't nobody. He didn't have like Bron got a KD. He ain't had none of that shit. None of it. And now everybody up in arms, it's like, bro, it's an overcorrection. That's what it is, bro. Like, motherfuckers are overcorrecting. And now they just calling out all the bullshit, and you motherfuckers hate it, bro. And I love the shit, bro. Because any motherfucker who go back and just watch them, I just told a motherfucker, bro, just go watch some of them old Bulls games. You're going to be like, this shit is huff. That shit is huff, bro. I will fucking take that to my grave. That basketball was fucking ass, bro. This nigga took 7 years to develop a left hand. If he was in the league in 2006, and Kobe Bryant was walking down that fucking tunnel, and this nigga ain't have a left, he would die after golfing and smoking cigars before the fucking game. The stories that they used to tell, he went and drank and golfed and gambled all day and came and dropped 50. You can do that in such an era. If fucking T-Mac was waiting on that nigga, that he's dying, bro. That's why. That's why niggas is done with the 90s. I love TikTok for that shit. Like, this shit got Jordan staying so upset. This nigga Jordan put in a call to the White House. He trying to get TikTok banned.
So Jordan's the reason.
Nasty, dog. It's nasty, bro. I've never seen this shit in my life, dog.
So Jordan put in a call to get this.
100%.
Not giving false information about the election, but Michael Jordan called the Senate like, yo, y'all need to get rid of this.
We gotta stop this shit.
Yo, I'm gonna let Bang tackle this, man. Go
Bang.
ahead, man.
What's up?
Bang ain't in this shit.
No, Bang, Bang, come on.
You yelled at me 2 weeks
No,
ago.
Bang ain't in this shit.
No, Bang.
And I said what I said then. You ain't even never watched a Mitch Richmond game in your life.
Nigga, defend the 90s.
You defend the 90s. I ain't about to defend a whole goddamn day. I defend Saved by the Bell, nigga. I say, hey, I'll defend Martin, nigga. I'll defend the Living Color.
Martin, y'all miss $1 gas. Y'all miss fucking Jodeci, and y'all niggas actually.
I don't miss Jodeci. I can go listen to Jodeci right now.
You know what's the funniest shit about all
No, Scott. You know what the funny thing? Mike, you know what the funny thing is? What I love about this era now is YouTube. All this shit's gonna be here forever.
Yeah.
And what's gonna happen is my son, who's 9 years old right now, when he gets 30, he's gonna be looking at YouTube and he's gonna be looking at this NBA and he's gonna be like, this shit's ass. But he's also gonna be looking at your ass, Dan, defend this shit. Like, man, who the hell is this big ass dude right here talking about all this shit ass? That's what's gonna happen.
I'm not one of these.
That's what's gonna happen. You know what I think is ass? You know what I think is ass, Dan? A lot of shit that I saw in the 70s too. Why? Because I didn't grow up in that era. You didn't really grow up in that era. So I totally get it and I totally understand it.
Can I?
No, hear me out. No, hear me out. He ain't really grew up in that era. He ain't really grew up in that era. He an old nigga that's trying to see. He's an old nigga that's trying to hoop with the little niggas. He's the old nigga that go to the old nigga that go to the gym and try to talk shit about the old niggas so he can be cool with the little niggas. That's what Dan is. Dan, I know we the same age. But you know what? I ain't out here trying to be cool with these little niggas.
Not either.
That's your ass.
So I'm trying to be cool
He's Steven Jackson. He's Steven Jackson going to O Block. Dan is Steven Jackson. Dan is Steven Jackson going to O Block talking about fuck these old niggas.
Almost every other day, Mike.
Fuck these old nggers. Fuck these old niggas.
What do I say about O Block, G? Almost every other day, Mike. What do I say about O Block?
Burn that shit down.
I want that shit closed.
And I'm waiting for your picture in front of the King Von.
Nigga, my building in O Block. My building in Woodline. I need that shit closed down.
Oh, you just need that shit for monetary reasons, nigga. Because you want to be better in life. Because you want to be.
So I want to tear down O Block and build.
You wanted to expand your horizons, nigga.
The one thing about that we done with the 90s, the one thing we done about the 90s shit, this was on damn side of it that makes more sense. You know, it started. We done with the 80s first. That trend was going for a minute.
Yeah.
It didn't piss people off. It did. They talked about they was killing Larry Bird. They was killing Magic.
Cause them niggas are old. Look, Mike. Cause the niggas that was watching the shit ain't on TikTok.
Yeah, but they was killing James Worthy. And then he went from the 80s and then said, as soon as he said the 90s, it went to shit. You can't talk about Michael Jordan. That shit was like, I'm like, they really cooked the 80s more than they did the 90s. They was talking about the 80s. Now they cooking the
fuck out of the 90s.
But then, but also
can't wait till they cook Vince Carter ass.
You can clip shit. You can clip shit. You can clip shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not a whole game. Like,
hold on, Mike. Because you was talking. Hold on for a second. Because you was talking. I'm gonna say this again, and I want to hear Dan's reaction again. I can't wait till they cook Vince Carter's ass.
Cool,
bro. You think Vince?
No, they gonna cook his ass. They gonna do the 2000s. They gonna cook Vince Carter ass.
They are not. They are not. They cooking the right hand bandit. That's who they cooking.
Hold on. In 10, 15
years, they cooking the right hand bandit.
15 years when you got little niggas putting up Wemby highlights talking about y'all niggas thought LeBron better than this. And they gonna pull up footage of him getting cooked by JJ Barea.
Them hooping with each other. Hit the same way. It's the circle of life. Hooping together. That fucking gambling addict ran out of Dodge when LeBron was getting ready to come into the fucking league, bro. Stop it. It don't translate. You can't look at the 2000s and then look at the 90s and say that's a similar type of it's not, nigga.
Everything is back. Everything is
you wait a minute. You right, because scoring went down. Like the scoring went down.
Niggas was more
right, the scoring went down. Yeah. All this shit that they doing now because the 2000s was ass.
The 5-year period from Mike's second retirement and LeBron came in is some of the worst basketball I've ever seen in my life. That shit was terrible.
Have you seen that shit from the 90s? Have you?
Yes.
The 90s is not bad.
To disagree with your point, there are people on there watching. There are people. Listen, to disagree with your point, Mike. There's niggas on there watching whole games, Michael Jordan games. Well, it was like game 1 of the 91 finals, right? And they did a fucking flow chart. How many times this nigga went right? How many times he went left? When he went right, what happened? When he went left, what happened? That motherfucker was like 15% going left. It was either
one of the best players in the NBA right now is Jaylen Brown, and that nigga is the same motherfucking way.
Exactly. And that's why they also call that nigga Bald Jaylen Brown on TikTok.
And
that's exactly why they call him that.
And they say that the nigga is what? And they also say the nigga is what?
They call him the right hand bandit. Bald Jaylen Brown, bro. That's what they call him.
And they also call this nigga an MVP candidate. So at the end of the day, it's like, all right, stop the shit. Stop the shit.
Jaylen Brown?
Jaylen Brown.
I didn't say that motherfucker was. I said they also said that this nigga's a late entry in the MVP candidate.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
Hey, I didn't say the shit. Wait a minute. I'm not saying the shit. But the nigga that went on the little streak and shit, and all of a sudden, this nigga's an MVP candidate. So we talk shit about him. We should talk a couple of weeks ago. We talked shit about fucking Jason Tatum and all this shit. We've talked about all this shit about all of these players, but now we talking about how the 90s was whack. We doing the same shit.
Nigga.
And Orlando, yes, them huff ass thousands Pistons.
That goes back to my point.
Niggas in 2002 was watching games that was 68-57.
If you drop Vince Carter, the Pistons held them niggas from the 2000s.
11 games. That's bad basketball.
That's bad basketball.
Dog.
That's bad basketball.
So if that's bad basketball, then in the 90s was good basketball. Joe Dumars and Hershey Hawkins.
I'm not saying
motherfucking.
I'm not propping up this era of 152, 120. You know, niggas not even giving a fuck. It's the thing, but it's not the actual trend. I don't give a fuck about the trend. I don't care what little niggas say.
That's because you're not on TikTok. It's not little. It's not just
you
like
hit his nigga. You hit his old nigga. Because that's because you're not on TikTok. Because you're not on TikTok. My father looking at this shit right now. That's the shit my father say. Oh, you didn't see the latest trend? Because nigga, you ain't on TikTok.
They think TikTok is
TikTok's whole thing.
I'm sorry. I get it. Facebook is y'all holy grail.
I don't be on Facebook
have to go
either.
past that shit, bro.
I don't be on Facebook either. I stay away from Facebook, except for the people who watch this on Facebook. Shout out to y'all. But
right,
that was stupid. Yeah, shout out to y'all who watch on Facebook. No offense.
Michael Jordan has never been this. His public opinion has never been this low. I'm just gonna leave it at that. That nigga got real motherfuckers like. He got like motherfuckers on his head, G. Vince Carter highlights. Vince Carter go back in the 90s and be fucking God. Like that nigga would jump.
Vince Carter got drafted in the 90s.
Literally, listen, this is how fucked up that era was.
You talking about his prime.
Yeah, listen. This nigga Michael Jordan did a behind the back, right? He fucking wrapped the ball behind his back and caught it with his right hand. The announcer said, I don't know what I just saw Michael Jordan do. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I threw my fucking phone, bro. I threw my fucking phone. You can't tell me that's good basketball, bro. You can't tell me a nigga doing a rap is good basketball. Stop.
Bro, you haven't. How many games do you watch now? Like dead ass. The product is damn near unwatchable right now. The individual talent is at its highest, but the game stinks right now.
But the players are better. No. I don't like to watch these niggas shoot three. Like I said, when Brown retired, I want to be a casual. Yeah. I will not be into the NBA like that. However, them niggas is going back and cooking Hershey Hawkins and Joe Dumars. I'm sorry. They cooking the fuck out of
Richmond.
Donovan Mitchell is cooking Mitch Richmond. Stop it, bro.
Donovan Mitchell can't even cook Jalen Brunson. Donovan Mitchell can't even cook Jalen Brunson.
Hey, I told Pabby, 16-year-old LeBron is baking Reggie Miller. I cannot stand
I want to see if we can get 1,000 people watching right now before we log off, because we almost there, man. Like, this is what I think. To me, it's the fucking because we got to wrap up in a minute because Dante got to go and we got to start the Patreon show. But I would say this: to me, it's the evolution of things, man. It's everything is going to get better. There's going to be a point right now where talent-wise, do I think talent-wise right now is more talent individually than the 90s? Yes. But I'm not the actual gameplay fucking stinks, bro. Like, and if we're gonna use hypotheticals of this player will go into this era and dominate, you don't think that players who are great there with the regimens they have now will be just as great?
I think
or
they'd
even
be
better?
good, but I don't think your average nigga in the 90s could be in the NBA. Like, I'm not saying that Reggie Miller and Mitch Richmond and Michael Jordan and Scottie and all these motherfuckers aren't talented. I think any talented player can play any era, Larry Bird, Magic included. What I'm saying is, if you put them in certain eras, all that shit, that magical shit Michael Jordan is doing today, that's Malik Monk on a random Wednesday night against them. All this shit, wrap around, we see it, bro. Listen to me.
You ain't never seen Malik Monk do one of the reverse layups that Mike did that year. You ain't never seen Malik Monk do that.
You're lying, Scott.
You ain't never seen Malik Monk do that.
No, first of all, when Mike did that reverse layup, Mike should have dunked it. He was wilding. Mike should have just dunked it. Like, there was no point. I never understood that play. He went up and then switched that.
He was stunned. He was stunned.
That was flex. But Malik Monk poke shit. G, pause.
All the time.
Pause. That was crazy.
Nigga, Zach LaVine. Send Zach LaVine to the 1985 dunk contest. That nigga he's being arrested for witchcraft, bro. They're gonna be like, what the fuck are we looking at?
Zach LaVine also getting locked up.
They sending that nigga to the Vatican, like, yo, he got the devil in him or some shit. I've never seen.
Because he wouldn't do that in 1985, nigga. It's a different era.
We're picking up players and dropping them into
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You can't tell motherfuckers what they eyes see, bro. How you gonna tell me?
Said Malik Monk.
Dog.
That shit was
come on, that shit is coming, bro. All that shit is that nigga's entire highlight tape. Role players do that shit now, bro. Role fucking players. All that shit. All that shit.
Now. Everyone's athletic, yeah.
Yeah. So stop telling me. So stop telling me Hershey Hawkins would be guarded fucking Jason Tatum or Joe Dumars.
This nigga named the most random ass because last week this nigga fucked up by saying Mitch Richmond. Now this nigga just naming the most random ass NBA player to make sure his point is right. The next week they ain't gonna bring this shit up and he gonna be like Dana Barros, like nigga, who are we talking about here, nigga? Vincent Askew, like nigga, who the fuck is we talking about? James Edwards would not do anything in this era, nigga. We know we're not talking about Hershey Hawkins. We're not talking about these niggas.
That's his competition.
Like we not talking about these niggas.
And that motherfucker,
this nigga just naming them. This nigga naming the most random ass. It's like it's like your ass went back and got some hoops cards and was like, "Yo, I'm gonna name Liddell Eccles, my nigga." Like,
you don't have posters of this nigga, bro. If you look at these niggas, G.
Joe Ingles cooked Paul George, so I know he cooking Larry Bird. That shit was hilarious. That shit was funny.
That shit's funny. But Joe Ingles is the all-time leading scorer at Export Fitness history. Like that nigga's the all-time scorer at Export Fitness history, nigga.
Oh man, let's we gotta wrap this.
Hey,
up,
but
man.
Scott, before you wrap it up, Dan, I need your help here. Okay. If we gonna do this, fam, don't just name a random ass NBA player. Like, don't go on your basketball card booking like, yo, I'm gonna name this NBA player today. Like, nigga's like Charles Shackelford would never be anything in the NBA.
Bro, I'm naming niggas that he's seen on a random night, G. That's not the league anymore, G.
Oh my God, I love you, Dan. I love you. You make my blood pressure.
Was worried about Joe Dumars that night.
Dan, you make my blood pressure raise, but it's good for good content, nigga.
That's what the truth does.
We had 1,000. Hey, we had 1,000.
Wait, what'd you say, Mike?
1K.
Hey, you saw that crossover AI did to Michael Jordan? If Derrick Rose do that, he fucking Mike up, G. Mike's falling, G. Mike
Nigga.
falling, Derrick Rose.
Nigga.
He falling, bro.
Kimball Walker is making that nigga do the fucking Harlem Shake, bro.
Kimball Walker.
Kimball Walker, Darren Williams,
That
any
nigga
nigga
said
with a
Malik
basic,
Monk. That shit was
any
hilarious.
nigga, Malik Monk got bounced, bro.
He
All
got
that
bounced.
shit,
Oh,
that
no,
nigga
no,
be
yeah,
doing
he-
all that shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm supposed to believe a gambling addict. Niggas can't do that shit. Stop it, bro.
I'm really looking forward to see what the Instagram and YouTube comments will say about this when I clip this up next this week.
Sherman Douglas is not doing anything in his era,
You're
fam.
always making me look like I'm evil and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking
Sherman
about.
Douglas is not doing.
You gotta give me my due, bro.
Ronnie Cycli ain't doing nothing in this era, Dan. You're right. You're right. Ronnie Cycli is not doing anything in his
Why
era.
don't you
G.
talk about the niggas that he's seen on
Derek Coleman is whacking his era,
I
fam.
fuck
I
with
feel you.
DC was nice.
Stephon Marbury fucking Gary Payton up though.
Hey man, don't even bring up Gary Payton, G. Now we're going too far. All right.
What's wrong with GP?
In the segment, fam. In the segment. Now we're going too far. We're gonna fight now. We're gonna find you at a Pillar's location, and we're gonna fight. Leave GP out of this.
I'm sorry.
But we gotta, we do gotta wrap.
Don't move the needle for me. I'm sorry.
We do gotta wrap this up, man. We gotta get ready to do the local hour for the Patreon. What did I say? That was pause worthy.
I mean, you just said you gotta wrap this up. But go ahead.
Wrap this up. Is pause worthy? What are we doing?
Hey man, hey, I don't know. Go ahead.
All right, okay.
Okay, Mike did say poke not too long ago, but whatever. We
He
gonna let
did,
this
though.
slide.
You said
We gonna let that
you
slide.
just said it again. You know what I'm saying? But okay.
Dan, man, let them know they can follow you at.
At Dan_Glorious on Twitter. That's all I got. Follow me, but I barely tweet anymore because I'll be too busy getting money. So
Because he's
just on TikTok, nigga.
Yeah, he's a slumlord. He like,
Hey, I'm about
He's
to
on TikTok.
run to the building right now. Yeah, I'll be on TikTok and at that
TikTok it.
Mike, let them know they can follow you at, bro.
You can follow me at Please Say the Baby on all platforms, stuff like that. And Pillars Club Pillars_Club.
Yeah, you got it right there. Pillars Club.
Hey, I told y'all about this fucking Pillars logo, by the way, man. I'm not fucking with it, G. This is the last week I'm doing this shit for free. I either need some bread or some clothes. That's what it is.
Oh, man. We gonna holler at y'all next week. We gonna holler at y'all next week, man. Shout out to y'all, man.
All right,
man. Dan, I hate you.
Fuck you.
Man. Mike. By the way, Mike. Just we gonna log you out, but stay on this your files upload, man. So we can have your shit up on there. So.
All right, appreciate y'all, man. See y'all next week.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Okay. We're gonna get ready to do the local hour. Local hour here, man. We talk about all Chicago sports. We're gonna go a little bit more in deep. You know what I'm saying, what happened, in Chicago sports. It'll be me. It might just be me and Bang. I know Dante got a role, and I think I'm looking forward what Mikey just texted you, man, to see what we gonna do.
Dante, you got a life? That's why you got a life, huh?
Dante gotta go play Uber real quick.
Yeah, and I gotta make a move real quick.
You gotta make a move real quick. But you can subscribe to the Patreon, man. Patreon.com/Barbers Chat Network, man. So you can get in tune with everything we going over there. Big shout out to everybody who watched. This is the most we've had watched in one stream. So big shout out to y'all. And yeah, man, y'all can follow me at @BarChairScott on Twitter and Instagram, man. You can follow Dante at OctoberZone. Follow JR Bang at JR Bang. And it'll at least be two of us in the local hour. So we're about to go take care of that right now. Shout out to Mike, shout out to Dan, shout out to Jack who joined us. We will holler at y'all on Monday, man. We up out of here.